12. So now let's just get ready to kick off shortly. Like, follow. Share. Talk amongst yourselves while I share and tag everybody in this because it's a lot of people in here today.
It's gonna be busy.
I'm about to in a second. I gotta wait for it to come up on.
It's pow.
You got Twitch on your phone?
There's like a little thing when he does that.
I don't have Twitch on my phone, but I can share it.
There it is.
Yeah, we got tired of Facebook pulling every episode. It was
We get it.
Be like that.
Yeah.
Mark be tripping.
Yeah.
He's selective
I
tripping.
call him Mark.
Get out my bag, Mark.
Get
Your
on my
first
nerves.
name basis.
Yeah. He's like, he's the same age as me.
Boom.
Motherfucker.
Hey, you know what? This is some real.
Church. There we go. There we go.
I don't think this year. Next year he got it.
Next year, you think so?
Think so.
You really think so?
He
So
gonna come back?
Man, all he knows is
He don't have nothing else.
He going out with the game like that.
he has nothing else.
Bam.
Facebook.
All right, bet. All good.
Afi, did you do it?
46.
I got it. I tagged everybody.
Okay.
Pow. Let me make sure my audio levels is good real quick. We good there. All right. Bam. You already know what it is. It's
Microphone check, 1, 2. What is this? If you can hear the sound of my voice, you are listening to His, Hers, and Ours, a real-life couple holding real-life conversation with real-life friends. I'm your co-host, Solomon Davis, joined always by...
Shannon Davis.
Ooh, that sounded horrible.
It is bad. I had a head cold this week, and I don't like saying head cold in front of dudes. Y'all are idiots, so it is what it is. But
How you get that cold? How you...
nah, just a little congested. So hey, but I'm feeling good. I wasn't sick or anything this week. It just kind of attacked my vocals. But we're okay.
Hit the back of your throat, huh?
Don't do that. Do not do it. That's what we're gonna do.
Episode number 55 is going to be epic. The double nickel, the Derek Brooks episode.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's about to be a classic.
Speaking of.
To my right, the guest that never left, Church Sinatra, the dean of Sugar U,
Oh, yeah.
Rob Thomas.
Who didn't follow
They
instructions?
still unaccredited.
It's uncredited, but we got that money, baby.
All right.
They be
I
shaking
love
that thing down there at Sugar U.
Always dropping the church's money on the flow.
That's right. The ghetto philosopher, the big boy president, the dean of Sugar U, yes.
Dr.
Dr. Church. Yeah, Dr. Church. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Curriculum. We looking for ladies now. You want your masters?
And that's in the way.
Masters in there.
The head doctor.
I'm the head dean
Okay.
of Sugar U. We got shirts. And
What's up?
there you go.
Reginald, are you present today?
I'm trying to squeeze in.
I ain't seen in a minute.
Medium T in the
come
building,
on,
baby.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to His, Hers, and Ours, you know that we are in the house
Why you
that Serge and Alfie built, Flow Ohio Studios. So down at the end of the table, thinking that he's watching Game of Thrones, Mr.
That's
Alfie
Alpha
said,
Santana.
I would, but you know.
But wait, let me let everybody see this guy. Hold up.
And he got out the car. I was like, yo.
Jim,
He came out. He was just like, yo, we going to car.
That's it today.
He look like a real pimp too.
You know what I'm saying?
Like one of them old school pimp, baby.
On the ones and twos.
Hey,
Behind the ones and twos, I kind of got an attitude with this brother today, but
Yeah.
we here.
Yeah.
It'd be like that. It'd be like
The
that.
Surgeon General, what's going on, man?
Yo! Shout out to Highlight.
And the reason why I feel this episode is going to be so epic, the two guests that we have joining us today. First time meeting these brothers, did some research on them, listened to their podcast, a Method podcast, which the acronym is amazing, fellas.
Yep.
Mostly everyone talking honestly over drinks.
Let's go. Let's get
I
what
like that.
we're doing right here.
Oh man, I'm a
Jay Noetic, Remy Mulatto from a Method podcast.
Salute. Thank y'all for having us, man. We're excited to be here, representing for all podcasts in Tampa Bay. Thank you for inviting us, man. Let's do this thing.
No problem at all. So just to get us started, just give us a little background. How did you guys get started? What's your,
Well, man, this is actually my second podcast I've done. My first podcast was called All Tea No Shade podcast, and Remy and I were at that time just friends. I had him on the podcast a couple times, and then that podcast ended. He had his own podcast called FU Podcast. No, what's it
It
called?
was called whatever it was.
So he had his own podcast. And so since my podcast ended, he ended his podcast. I was like, look, let's just start a new podcast. Let's come together and do our own thing. I had a vision for a Method podcast, and he was like, I'm all for it. And we just been building ever since then, man. So we've been friends since probably 2018. But the podcast, we're in season 3? Season 3 of Method Podcast. And it's growing, man. You know, we try to do things a little bit different, you know, with segments and stuff on our podcast.
Yeah,
And
it's so much fun. Like
Yeah.
that's the big thing for me. Even if nobody watched it, I just like, you know what I'm saying, sitting down with this motherfucker and then this motherfucker just talking shit out. And so much comes out, so much good conversations, information. It's dope.
Exactly.
Appreciate
That was the vibe that we had. We always tell people when they ask how we got started, COVID was a tough time for everybody, and it was actually a rocky point in our relationship. And COVID kind of saved us because it forced us to be in the house together and have conversation.
Right.
So then it was like, you know what? Damn, this is some shit going on here.
Here's the thing, though, because y'all two made it through COVID, and there's so many people
That didn't.
who COVID made them sit in the house together, and they broke
do
up.
it.
They was
Yeah.
like, "Nah, fuck this. You ain't my person." So salute to y'all to be able to
Appreciate it.
to work through that, and we're like, you know what? You my person. You know.
Yeah.
I was one of those
Absolutely.
casualties.
Talk about it.
They don't understand the work it took to start Sugar You.
Yeah, they ain't understand. They ain't want to hang out.
So you realized during COVID that person wasn't for you because you were having to spend an extended period of time with them.
Nah, I went. It wasn't that I was spending any time with her, an extended
You
amount of
wasn't. That
time
was the
because
point.
I was working. Because me, I would be while everybody else was. I feel lucky enough to be in the house. I had to always be in the element, so I'm always ducking and dodging. And her thing was at the time, yo, why you want to come, chill and see? But my whole thing, I don't know what's going on in your house, so I'm trying to duck this thing. I don't know. You know what I mean?
My man said I ain't had no downtime.
Yeah.
I was
You didn't
working
trust her.
24
You didn't
hours a
trust her.
day.
She didn't have a lot of people coming in and out of her house. That what you saying?
Yeah, well,
Not like that. But
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
a
I
family
just-
and associates.
I just didn't know where she would. She would still be out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she still with
For
family.
the streets?
Her
Is that
son.
what it was?
Nah. She
Yeah, that's
wasn't
what I'm
for-
asking. Was she for the streets? I don't
Nah, she
know.
wasn't for the streets at all.
Okay.
But it was just like I had said before we ended. I was like, this is either going to make us or break us. And I probably shouldn't have never said that. But you live and you learn.
So that's how you. Oh, never mind. Yeah, cause buddy. Oh, that conversation. Oh, this gonna either make us or break us. That already you kind of doing it. Like
I
it's
said
not
that
gonna
even
work.
before we went on the cruise too.
He said that
Yeah,
every
she
time
would have.
he
It would have been
saw
Gilligan's
that.
Island for you, brother. I would have left you.
Why you would've left?
Stranded. It would have been a
already checked
wrap.
out,
It would have been a
You
wrap.
think
I
I
would have
checked
checked
out?
out.
You had already
I ain't
checked
Yeah,
checked
you
out,
had already
man.
checked out.
My number
So
one
don't blame that on COVID.
I would say my number one rule when dating, man, is like go on a trip together. So I'm with you on a carnival thing because you can go on a vacation together and y'all still can I curse
So
on
like,
here?
how
Can I
long?
curse? And
Yeah.
you still fucking with each other, then it's y'all good. Because
Right.
vacation will tell you pretty quickly. You
So how many days would that trip be?
no more than 4 days.
It only
for
got me
me.
4 days.
4 max.
Okay.
4
Yeah, we
max.
did
I
5.
think we was
Yeah.
7, and that's
Oh, the cruise?
Yeah, we were 7, and that's why we never go on cruises that long anymore.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That was because we did have a fight there. We weren't talking one night. I'm doing my thing, he doing his thing while we on the cruise. Yeah, it was a lot.
That was a lot.
But
You going
yeah.
out by yourself?
Yeah, I went to the comedy show.
See,
by myself.
I had a couple arguments because I'm waking up early. I'm an early riser. I know you sleep late. So when I get up, I'm going to get some
So
spiked
even though
coffee.
she's like that at home, you didn't think to
No,
be like,
she's-
hey babe, let me, you want to come up and have breakfast together.
No, I ain't asked
Oh.
because one time One time I did ask that question. We were supposed to go. We went with a group, and we were supposed to meet up. This was after the day out on the land and shit. And we went to sleep, and I was like, "We got to be up at 8." She was like, "What the fuck are you waking me up for?" I was like,
So maybe she had a rough patch. So you will just take that
it is
first.
a vacation, dog.
Yeah.
So it ain't really nothing set in stone. Hey, if I miss the excursion, I miss the excursion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right, but you know.
Well, you've learned.
It was cool though.
Since then, right?
After that, then it just went left.
So Jay, Remy, tell us your background. Where y'all from? I mean, if you're not from Tampa, what brought you to Tampa?
You go first.
I'm from Mars.
And girls are
Women are Venus.
Yeah, I'm from Detroit.
What up, though?
What up, though? Not born and raised, but I was raised in Detroit. And then when I turned about 21, I just kind of started bouncing around the States. Ended up in Tampa, been here for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
Okay.
12 years now. I don't know. It's starting to blend.
All run together.
So I am a country boy through and through. I am from Virginia. I know people don't think Virginia is southern, but Virginia is so southern. You don't even know that Virginia.
That man said Virginia.
For F.A.
Two up, two down.
Two up, two down.
That's my second home.
Grew up there, man, and I moved here at the age of 30. I was looking for change in my life. It was just like, man, I just need to rebrand myself completely. And so I moved here. I didn't even have a job when I moved here.
Wow.
I didn't know nobody. I didn't have no family. I didn't have no friends. I didn't have no job. I interviewed over the phone, and I was like, I'm going to get this job. So I moved July 4th, 12 years ago, and July 8th I had the job and never looked back.
Wow.
And I've just been building my brand, building my network, connecting with people, trying
Where'd
to...
you stay at, though?
So I actually found a friend, well, not a friend, he's a friend now, but somebody on Craigslist who was renting a room. And back then, Craigslist wasn't, he wasn't coming across murderers like that, you know what I mean?
That didn't happen till later.
Yeah, so, but yeah, actually, we're actually cool friends to this day, man. And so, don't get me wrong, it hasn't been easy. You know what I mean? Like, there were definitely times. No, you never met Ryan.
What part of VA?
Richmond. Well, I claim Richmond because that's where I spent all my adult life.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a very small town called Tappahannock, Virginia.
Tappahannock, yeah.
Yeah, that country thickness, boy.
Yeah.
He does what we do when we say.
they say
we're from
Cleveland,
but we're from Lorraine, which is kind of
Yeah.
Hey, tell them who else from Tappahannock.
There's only one person that matters that's from Tappahannock. That's Chris motherfucking Brown. Let's go. Yeah, so. So yeah, man, that's how we ended up here, man. And actually, I used to do a meetup group when I first moved here. Cause again, I didn't know anybody, and so I took over a meetup group. You ever heard of Meetup.com?
Nah.
So Meetup.com is a website where other people host events of like-minded stuff. It could be like a couples group.
Gotcha.
It could be. I joined. So I did a young black professional group that I started doing. He ended up joining that group years ago. Met him a long time ago. We didn't really become friends then. Then, like, maybe in 2018, I did a trip to Panama.
All right.
This
That's when it
motherfucker
started.
came, his friend Ed came, and next thing you know, we became closest friends.
Panama.
That's what's up.
Changed it. Okay.
Shout out to Ed.
Y'all ever been to Panama?
Nah, I
No.
can't say that.
Oh, man, y'all gotta go to Panama.
I'm gonna try it. Okay.
That's a good spot.
That was my first real trip. I was like, all right, Jay, I see. We friends now, nigga.
How did y'all meet, though? I always love hearing about like, couples, man. Like,
So
I hate our story
I mean, so-
because
y'all been in the strip
he
club?
knows it.
you want
Okay.
Hey.
you want the Dr. Seuss version?
I
or
want the real shit.
Talk to
We
him.
do it real.
Cause I know.
So check it.
Look at Reggie over there participating.
Our families grew up together pretty much, so we knew
Yeah.
each other as kids. And back in the day, back in high school, I tried to holler at this chick,
She
and
was
she
taken.
wasn't taken. She
Yes,
just
I
wanted-
was.
She
You
was
was
taken.
See, he always try to act like that.
You know how they say the good girls want the bad boy. I want a bad boy back then. I was clean cut, nerdy, geeky, what have you.
Yeah.
You know, so
Someone
she
tell his
wasn't
version.
feeling me. She had this little, light skin, wannabe,
He was a
wavy
light
hair. You know,
She had a Remy.
one of them old Christopher Williams wannabe.
Someone is doing too much.
What you looking like?
Don't chime in on this. He's not not telling the
Oh, well,
truth.
be sure looking type nigga. You know what I'm saying?
He tripping.
But anyway, so
Baby hair having motherfucker.
Baby hair everywhere.
I can't.
So
Not.
you know, we end up graduating. She goes to FAM. I go to Morehouse, and
That's the
to
only you that
come
matters.
back. And I end up getting married.
Yeah. That situation.
Biggest mistake I made, but you know,
Yeah.
we live and we
Lesson
learn.
learned. Yeah,
We live and we
absolutely.
learn.
Live and we learn.
She goes through life and what have you, and when I got divorced, we ended up bumping into each other as friends. And I hit her up one
Was
day. I
you bumping or was you inboxing me with Facebook?
What?
Yeah, don't
Are
do
you
that,
serious?
bro. Don't do it, bro.
Don't do it.
So now see, I tried to keep this out. I tried to be honest.
Go ahead.
I had ended up getting a new vehicle, right? Land Rover. She gonna inbox me. Oh, I saw the new whip. Can me and my girls take it for a ride?
Wow.
I'm like, I bet.
Yeah.
Bet.
So first off,
Yes,
Solomon,
sir.
what,
Yes, you
Solomon
sure can.
what Solomon won't say is
Can
that
you drive us?
I can learn.
I'm not gonna do it. Never mind. I'll let y'all have that one. But go ahead.
Nevertheless, after my divorce, well, I was still divorced after my separation.
Yeah, you was-
I was still married. I hadn't gotten officially divorced. During my separation, we ended up bumping into each other. Went down, had a cool hangout down in Ybor City, and we just enjoyed the conversation, talking for like it seemed to be hours. And it was like, you know, it's cool. Let's get together. Let's do it again. And you know,
The rest
we
is
did it
history.
again. The rest is history.
Yeah.
You left out that New Orleans.
We
that's a lot.
don't got time for New Orleans, but no, like I always tell him, it was about timing, and our spaces where we were when we were in high school. Like I knew him. He's my dad. I mean, his uncle was over this program I was a part of, so I knew them. I knew his dad. I worked with him in the summer times, and so in the summertime, his girlfriend who turned into his wife, I wasn't vibing with. I was like, yo, that's your girl, like, okay, you know, and not that I was trying to jab at it, but I just didn't think that she was for him, and it
Yeah.
wasn't my space to be like, oh yeah, I'm your girl, because I
Hold on,
was
let
in a
me
relationship
Take my
myself.
shades off. You say that again.
Loving basketball,
Yeah.
dog. Oh, you could do
Nah.
better.
Well, we don't talk about that, but no, it was that way. And he was like, well, what you trying to say? I was like, nothing. I just putting the pieces together and knowing,
She
like,
ain't for
you,
you.
that ain't you. That ain't even your move. I could see you with some other people, but her, nah, it really wasn't. And it worked out. Like I said, it happened to be about timing. We go through life. He's going through his divorce or whatever the
sure.
case may be. I have a kid, you know, like, so you don't know, like me at the time, I'm a different type of female, so I can date people. You will never see my kid. Like
Yeah.
I just never. I was one of those people, very protective. So him knowing that kind of gave him an in because he already knew my family. My family knew who he was, and that kind of gave him a little bit of leeway. But yeah, it wound up working the way it was supposed to, and it was all in timing.
Timing is the biggest factor, boy, in anything.
How
Yeah.
old were y'all?
By this time, I think we were like 30.
31.
Yeah, 31.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was so for me. I wasn't that girl that wanted to get married at like 25. Like I never saw
Big
myself
mistake.
in that space
Big
because I
mistake
always
getting
thought that I wanted to catch a man when he's more mature.
Yeah.
Out here, I'm going to be having to search your phone. Where you going? And that insecurity plays on you in the 20s. That you get a different level of security at 30 to me. And I wish
35.
Yeah, well, that too.
35.
It does. It changes, but that's 35 for men. It's like women, we have this like kind of like an awakening almost. When you hit 30, you have like your life flash before
I'm
you.
so glad I didn't get married. I've never been married, but I'm glad I did not commit to anything in my 20s. I was a fuck up, man. I didn't know who I wanted to be.
Right.
Right, like at 25, the light bulb just started going on. Like, okay, this is who I want to kind of mold myself into. But I was not marriage material at all.
I got
so.
married at 22.
Yeah. No.
Big
Whoa.
mistake. We cool now, but it's like nah, man. I only been married one time. But the thing is, like, looking back on it, and I tell now that we are able to, because I was like, well, I know that I probably hurt you when we were younger, and that was why you hated me. And now that you're looking at me, you're like, oh, this is what
the
I
guy that
should-
she wanted,
yeah,
that she
I
should have
should have
had.
been with. But
Yeah.
you got to give people time to get to that point. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have wanted to be messing with Solomon at that age because Solomon understands.
Solomon was a hoe.
Yeah, he is daddy's child. He's his daddy's
We all
child.
ate.
He's the only child. He's the only child. He's the only child. And your dad is.
Purity of the soul cannot be lost without
I'm
consent.
not.
That's
Hey,
true.
that's
I ain't do
true.
nothing that nobody ain't allowed me to do.
That's true.
I'm not. He got that old ass.
Hey,
He got that old ass.
Listen, you got it's the
face,
Book of
so-
Solomon, dog.
Well, We
gotta
used to
read
call
it. I
like
ourselves
it.
the
I gotta read
Chamberlain
the book of
Mafia.
Solomon.
And what's his favorite quote from the book?
And it was one of the reasons why we
What's
just
the
used to
favorite
go
quote?
with
Love,
that.
like,
The favorite quote?
Exactly.
It's
No,
an LLC.
Women are capable of far deeper cruelty than any
Lord.
man.
I disagree, but anyway.
Yeah, they,
Yeah, Solomon was a bit of a handful back then, and not that he was like this player type or whatever. He was suave because
Nah, the dude
he
was-
was a good
he was a
guy.
stealth barber.
But
He
he's
ain't
the
know
one
what the
who,
hell he
at
was.
19, wanted to open the doors for women, and he's gonna make sure she ordered this last time. Let me get her drink. Like, let me get her drink right. You know, whatever. Make sure she good.
doing all that.
Like, so he knows how to pamper you and like woo you.
Yeah.
And that was what it was for me. But I knew his dad. I was like, man, your daddy hoe, you.
You know he listening, right?
Daddy a changed man.
He's changed. He's
Man.
changed. He has. My father-in-law is amazing.
You
I
know,
love
yeah,
that.
It's like you ain't nothing but your daddy.
Right. The apple was going to either fall directly or roll down the hill, and
it's
he
going-
fall directly. Like, that's where they are. So, anywho.
So we want to really throw the salt in the game then, if we gonna put it out there like that?
Go ahead. You
We
can.
got more stories. More
No,
stories.
she said she want to call my daddy a hoe.
So,
No, I'm saying.
yeah, no. It's about that line
It's
almost,
about-
not like that.
So
Our
while my
parents-
daddy was a hoe, my daddy was dating her mama.
Which is even more reason
So
why I
the
was
apple
like, yo,
don't
I
fall
ain't trying to
through
holler at you
furniture.
like, my mom and
We
your
could be
dad.
brother and
Like,
sister.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things too. So while we were younger, that's what it was. When they
all I
kind
wanna-
of got
Completely
older,
different storyline.
All I wanted
it wouldn't
was
have been because I don't play that. I don't care. I look at the optics. It
How the
was
wedding-
not gonna be that process.
how was the wedding process for y'all? That's
Easy.
what I want to know.
Very easy.
Because
'cause
I'm
your-
not.
City
No.
Hall.
So my sister, I have two. I have a bigger family. I have a big family. So
And you know I know your mom, so
yeah,
your mom.
but it was
mom
different
teacher.
because my sister had gotten married early on, you know, her and her husband or whatever, and they had this large wedding. And I was like, yo, that ain't for me. Like the headache, the number of people. So I was like, yo, let's do something small, simple, and we can, you know, let everybody come later. Only people in our wedding was the three of us, me, him, and my daughter. My brother-in-law at the time, he's a pastor, so he married us. But I told everybody to wear black so that for picture purposes.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was simple. We had 55 guests.
Something around that.
Yeah, we invited like 60 people, but only like 50, which was fine with us. Nothing. It was at Jackson's up in that room where they have the glass where you can see out the window. So it's really beautiful, nice day. But I'm very simple in that regard. Like I don't require all of that because everybody I know that had those large weddings either are not together anymore.
yeah.
So you either gonna put your money in for show or you gonna put the work in and make it happen. So that was always my mindset. So it was simple. And our parents took pictures like normal. They on one side. Even now, like with the grandbaby, it's like she had like his mom is passed away. My dad passed away. So she only has those two grandparents, and so they spend a lot of time together because she does it. But I ain't with that. I don't care what they do now at this point because we married. That look weird to them. Whatever. But yeah, it's cool.
Well, salute
They're
to
good
y'all for
parents.
not letting your past history get in the way of your future progress of what you want to do. A lot of people let their past things get in
Dictate.
the
Absolutely.
way, and so it's good that you were able to look past that.
Well, I mean, you know, with that, there came an understanding. Shannon knew things that I had done in the past because we were very transparent with each other in the beginning. And
In the
you know-
beginning, so you stopped. Like, hello?
You talk like a president. You like real political, like
What
with the beard.
What did I
The whole
tell you?
beard, you know what I'm saying?
I swear,
you see it, right?
So I told him,
Can I
I think I told Solomon and my
shit.
father-in-law the same time.
Start.
I said, I swear, I think when they were younger, Solomon used to jump out the car with Smooth Operator playing or something, him and his daddy. And I'm not talking, look, I'm not even talking about the Big Daddy Kane version. I think they were like Sade and bitches. Like, I really do think that's what they was doing.
Nah, but
Shoot, so I was.
go ahead.
I was gonna say you was a smooth man.
I swear, I think like he was like his daddy would jump out with a suit. He had a suit.
had
They
a
probably
suit
jumped
on,
out
man.
playing Smooth Operator in the back.
Stepping
Like,
on my,
yeah, that's
stepping on
them.
my style.
That's them. That's them.
Nah, but she understood where I was coming from and things I had done in the past. So she just defined those boundaries of how to deal with her and like, listen, if this happens, you know, these are my deal breakers. This happens, I'm out. So
Yeah.
you know, if we're gonna be together, we're gonna be together. So I mean, just learning those boundaries and understanding each other, it's been good ever since.
Salute to that.
Yeah. So we can jump in some quick culture things. I'm just gonna run down. I wanted to keep it upbeat because I ain't really want to start off with them. I'll end with them because they're gonna go into my couples part of it in a second. But no, just shout out to my school, my Orange and Green. I love my HBCU that I love to death. It's FAMU's homecoming and a homecoming experience. I want to just simply say how mainstream America is trying to jump on the bus now with the HBCUs, and I can give credit to Deion if you want to, whatever the case may be, but. Even the Will Packards, who've always been who's given money and paid for different things like that. So it's a lot of different stuff out there. But the different, the concerts look different from when I was at FAM. Like we would get a Trick Daddy and a Trina. Now they getting like the young like the City Girls coming. You got Saucy Santana. Like these people are Billboard artists now. Like so you have to give them, their props or whatever. So it's to me, it turned into a whole different vibe this year because it was on Halloween. And they had Good Morning America there. Oh, so wow. And then Jackson State in turn out to get them their flowers. Deion was able to get college game day there. College game day has never been to a HBCU. Deion never had a reason.
Changed the game, yeah.
And it is because he's coming from a place of, okay, I hear you. Now, mind you, Deion spent more time at FAMU than he did at Florida State. Yeah. It's just that he had to make people understand that Florida State offered him. He's like, granted, I probably wouldn't have went to a HBCU, but nobody ever gave me the experience. So he's giving that to his boys. His kids go to HBCU. His daughter is on scholarship playing basketball. His sons both play football. And it's a choice. Now, granted, I don't think that he'll be there forever because there's money that's going to come. No. I think he'll stay until his boys graduate, but I just think it's dope that everybody's getting into the culture. And the one thing I did kind of throw my nose up about was watching ESPN on game day. This same white chick that was in Oregon, she had on because Oregon has the versatile uniforms and stuff, so she had on some of their shoes and everything. So today she had cornrows and and I was like, now why she ain't stay in the mood from last week? Because don't get me wrong, I think Black and brown people are the most accepting people. Like you accept different things that come onto your plate. Yeah, we do, and we ain't mad. You come as you. Some of the people that were there at game day, I think it was a man's homecoming. I mean, their honeymoon. And he had he had bought a Jackson State. He said, my wife wanted to do was go to a game day, and this is the one I came to. But he came as himself, and them people taking care, they're gonna make sure you all right. Nobody's gonna, shade you. But yeah, I was like, yeah, that's the one thing. And then
so let me ask you this then. From your perspective, we both went the HBCUs. Our experiences were a little bit different. Do you think the popularity and what's going on in the transition of HBCUs right now, is it sustainable?
I think it can be. It can be. And I think that what people got to understand is so FAMU, even if you don't know FAMU, when you go to a pharmacy, you see a pharmacist on the wall from Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University. That's them. And it's only two big pharmacy schools in the state of Florida, which is FAM and UF. They're the top, in the top in the country, as a matter of fact. They're really good. But anyway, I think they can sustain it as long as they continue to get the back end. All HBCUs have gone through some type of financial woes where they've had to try and figure out a game plan. So now they have people in places in setting up things properly. This year was a perfect example of they weren't prepared for what they were getting into when they had a number of freshmen that didn't have housing. So they had to go buy up 2 different apartment complexes and get them housing immediately. But what hurt them was that now, because Deion has gotten you the Netflix stuff, you got the stuff with Chris Paul, they had videos and movies and stuff, these different little small drama series and stuff, mini-series on these different networks. You got so much attention on you that you dropped the ball. You were looking at what everybody else is looking at and not preparing for what was coming. And so those kids, that impacted a lot.
Can I speak on something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think it's sustainable based if the sports does well, right? What brings in the biggest money?
Football.
Sports.
Yeah.
Especially football.
Yeah.
So which is salute to Deion, because if Jackson State was shit,
first off, nobody didn't even know what Jackson. And I'm not even trying to be funny. You know about Hampton and all, because you're from that area. You know how those HUs look.
I never heard about Jackson State.
Thank you.
So
until Deion got
bringing all that money in here. So now, if we can get these recruits,
HU.
to start going to the HBCUs and to actually be good. Now you got more money coming in here. Now
Right.
the young black boys, teenagers, we're gonna, instead of going to Alabama
Yeah.
and Duke or whatever,
Yeah.
or Ohio State, now they're going here. Now you're bringing money in.
Stop
So I
that.
think it's sustainable if the money is there.
Correct. I agree.
Everything is going
But
to be
now
trendy.
that they're letting them do the NIL deals, that brings in a different level of money, so you can create
Yeah.
revenue as far as how to get those top recruits where other people were paying kids. So
I got a question
Yeah.
involved in that. Do you see 10, 15, maybe 20 years of the HBCUs catching up with the top 5 tiers?
No.
no, they'll never be able
That
to
won't
be able
happen.
to do that because it's too much money backing that. Like you have a machine
You don't
in
ever see it being
Texas.
like equal
So you have to realize
Man.
right now that, and when I heard this stat, I was kind of shocked. Out of 50 states, 38 out of 50 states, the highest paid government employee
Is a
is
university
the university football coach.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can never keep up with that because you're never going to be able to sustain it. So the way Deion ends up at Jackson State, and I don't know if people understand that, like that school couldn't afford him either. But you know where he gets the money, and this is why he has to be in promotion mode all the time.
Endorsements.
Not the and he also get half of the purse for the ticket sales.
Oh,
So that he gets a cut of the ticket sales. So it is in his best interest to bring
Yeah.
all these different people.
nobody shows up.
Because if you don't
show
show up, you're cutting into my wallet.
And they got sold out crowds
Yeah.
in the games now.
Now they do, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking at is, I mean, you look at Florida A&M. You go to Tallahassee, it's its own city within itself.
Yeah.
Same thing. When you go to Atlanta, Morehouse is its own city within itself. I mean, it's Morehouse. You take
You got
10
all
steps
of
and
it,
then it's the
yeah.
hood.
Yeah.
You know. I saw the interview Deion did either
For
last
60
week or the
Minutes.
weekend
On
before
60
on
Minutes,
60
yeah,
Minutes,
I saw it.
and they showed how you got the water crisis going on in Mississippi, especially in Jackson, where he actually had to go to a Hilton hotel, get in their swimming pool and take a bath
Yeah,
in their
I saw
swimming
that.
pool because there was
Yeah.
no clean water
Yeah.
around that area.
That's the second
But that's
time
not the
that
first
happened.
time that's happened to them.
That's the second.
No, but what I'm saying is,
because they had
when
a
he first got
freeze
there,
when it was a
freeze.
water freeze.
right, so will this attention that he's bringing, I know, although it's helping the university, will it help the surrounding area as well?
Yeah.
I'm sure it probably will because the thing about it, and remember I was saying today, I was like, college game day, why are they out there by that stadium? And they didn't have the crowd, like the crowd didn't look positioned the way it normally is. And I had to think about it, and just like you said, you didn't know where Jackson State was. I thought when they said Jackson State, I'm like, JSU, is that Jacksonville State? Like, is that what they trying to talk about? Like, I wasn't sure.
Jackson,
But
Mississippi.
you look at those different campuses, and I've been on a lot of different HBCU campuses. Jackson State almost, and it's sad because Tuskegee looks the same way.
Yeah.
Outside of Tuskegee's gate, you got 4 stoplights that just, and it looks like the slum. That's why they walk,
Money,
like,
man.
you literally, Tuskegee is literally 15 minutes up the street from Auburn University. Their campuses, is one long street when you get off the interstate that takes you from, you can jump and go left and go to Tuskegee, or go right and go right to Auburn. The city looks so different in each one of those spots. It literally looks like how, let's say, Ybor City looked about 15 years ago, before they started coming
they
to do the gentrification and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how Tuskegee sits in these gates, and you walk outside
Like
and it
West
look
Tampa?
piss poor.
Can I
Let's take a look now.
ask y'all a question,
Yeah.
y'all two, specifically about HBCUs? As someone who didn't go to a HBCU but attended homecomings and stuff like that, which HBCU do y'all feel has the most money? How is it? Howard? Is it Hampton? Like
Hampton.
I don't know which one would. I can't say.
can't
I
say.
can't say
Like,
which one.
Hampton
because-
got-
campus? We go to the campus. And the
Hampton
campus
got the-
do
Have you been to
well.
FAMU's campus lately?
Yeah, I haven't been there since the.
You ain't been
since
there. You couldn't have been there in about 10
1990
years because if you look at FAMU, they look like a mini village now. Like how they have it
yeah.
set up. They've knocked down these old
something.
dorms that I
knocked down
stayed
the old
in.
ass dorm.
Yeah, so it
But
looks
that's the same thing
different.
in Atlanta, though.
Because they had.
So
they
the-
had
the
the thing about what Morehouse was,
It probably has too.
you didn't just have Morehouse. You had the entire Atlanta View Center.
Yeah.
You had
Brown.
Morris Brown, Clark, Morehouse, and Spelman, all within 4 blocks of each other.
Oh wow!
I mean, we literally took classes on the other campus all other campuses. I mean, my freshman year, I probably took one class on Morehouse.
I didn't even know that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And if you look at FAMU, the only thing that separates FAMU and Florida State is the railroad track.
Yep.
Literally, and they make the city blend in a way that you can go to campuses back way. FAMU and Florida State share their engineering program. But that's why I say you can't really say which one is the richest or has the most money because it's a lot of money.
So there's more money coming into HBCUs, but not nearly as much as the Power Five. Or
right, correct.
So,
but you can even look at FAMU now here.
Virginia State don't look that great. When you go to Petersburg or Virginia Union, there's two right in Richmond. Virginia Union and Virginia State.
Nah.
So you would usually have like alumni giving back more so now than you had corporations giving. So I could say like with Morehouse, you know, we had people like Spike Lee giving back, you know, Samuel L. Jackson giving back.
Because they're alumni.
They're alumnus, exactly.
Gotcha.
So, you know, people like Virginia Union, Virginia State, they might not have had a celebrity like that who's made some money to be able to give back. Now Deion's brought this spotlight to HBCUs, and you got these huge corporations that now want to get
Being
involved.
part of it. It makes sense.
But you've had like I said, you've always had people who have like the Commons and stuff who's always given to like the FAMUs, or you've given to like your girl who played the princess and Princess Tiana, Princess and the Frog. She went to FAM, like, and she also. Those people have always been giving back, but that's why I say FAMU has been blessed in a different way because they were never a private school. It was always a public entity, basically. And secondly, they've always had the benefit of being able to somebody seeing a vision differently. Like you got a FAMU pharmacy school here at USF, or they're sharing a nurse practitioner, like this type of stuff. Like it's been happening for a while, and I just think that someone else has seen the vision. I think it's all in how those schools decide to move. You had Bethune-Cookman, who was right in Daytona, which was struggling because they had a benefactor who was giving them money hand over fist,
but people
were still in the money. So you had to have, like, I think each school has had to go through some type of chaos or turmoil in order for them to get in a great space. Now I think Howard gets the love because they're in DC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't.
got more money than them.
But I'm not saying who has. I wouldn't know who has the most money because when you go onto the, like, I see where FAMU's money is going. You seen a girl who took a naked picture in front of the snake, and now they
But that was
on the
Photoshop.
internet somewhere.
And anybody who
No, that was she was there. She took it in front of the
I would imagine
So
that
what-
it's
at the
few
state.
top.
It was
we
late
gotta
night.
talk about
I
that.
you think
imagine
It was late night.
I imagine it had to be like Hampton, Howard, FAMU, North Carolina A&T, like the most popular. I feel like. But anyway, that's a side topic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just curious.
No, but this is a good question.
Now, 'cause I took a bunch of classes at him, so I was officially enrolled, but I was in the Navy. So, it
But
wasn't
did you
like
did you graduate?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's shady.
That's shady right
It
there.
wasn't that. That's just Nah, let me tell you.
She's trying to cancel you because you ain't got no experience.
I wasn't catching. No, I wasn't.
Okay,
I
Shannon Yang.
I wasn't
Hey,
coming
look,
for you
Shannon
like that. Don't
Dr.
take
Phil
it like that.
said we need to change cancel culture.
Yeah.
Did I say it right?
Yeah. You're right.
Into council culture.
Oh, okay.
That's
Now, I
So you
I do
gonna
that shit.
counsel Ye?
Sean Ye.
I'm not. Somebody can. I'm not.
I'm talking about Ye now.
I'm done talking to Kanye. I still talk about.
Let's dive
Kanye.
into that.
What's y'all?
This is our
So
weekly.
officially,
Okay.
This is
This
our
is
weekly
third
conversation
week.
about Kanye.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
Lord.
can't seem to get away from him.
He's doing something stupid every day.
So now the motherfucker.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Now the motherfucker apologizing. Why? Because his money being talked.
Because
He
he
come out
loses
and
billionaire
apologize?
status.
Yeah, he'll
I ain't seen him
when-
apologize.
I will pull it up for you.
When did he apologize?
There's a video apology.
What I said in my post? I said Kanye will apologize by Friday. Did I say that?
And he didn't apologize. I'm gonna pull it up in a minute for you.
I have to. Let me find a screenshot.
Did you hear the words come from
100%.
Kanye?
Yeah, did you hear the words? I want to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in an interview.
Because I didn't hear it.
The only reason why he's apologizing, you lose because being a
Losing
billionaire.
that money.
You think so?
Billionaire
He
status.
losing money.
He did.
You think so?
Yeah.
Listen, can we all agree that Kanye West is a self-centered individual?
Absolutely. Him and Kim, that's the only way him and Kim survive.
Most people on that status level are.
I would agree with you.
Okay.
Except.
But Kanye is always about Kanye. So now that he's losing money, I better apologize because now it's going to put me in a good light.
Jay, let me.
And I'm a Kanye fan.
So am I.
So it hurts my heart.
But let me ask you this.
Oh, Lord,
You don't
please.
think everything that he's done has been calculated?
No,
You
I do
don't?
not.
I think he's had a mental
he's on a
breakdown. I think
downward
he's had a
spiral.
breakdown.
I think,
So right
I
now,
think
let me
he's
ask
good
you-
at recovering. I think he'll trip and
You
fall,
think
and
he's
then
good at
he'll
recovering?
somehow roll and just be
I
like,
wanna
all
see
right,
how
fuck it,
this
let's.
recovery
You know what I mean?
is.
Like I feel like Kanye is like a running back in like whatever he's trying to do. Yeah.
Running back.
So let me ask you this. I'm gonna talk about Serge's favorite athlete.
Okay.
LeBron.
Okay.
Oh, don't do
Okay.
that.
Not in a bad way.
Hey,
Not in a bad way.
hey,
Okay.
hey,
What can you
Serge.
say?
Hey,
No.
Serge. Mine too, man.
You know what I'm
I'm just
saying?
gonna ask a quick question.
Okay.
What can you do?
If LeBron went to Nike headquarters right now
Yeah.
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, I'm out. I don't want nothing to do with Nike anymore. I got my movie thing going on over in LA. We gonna build our own brand with shoes, and I'm
They
gonna
gonna
start
hold on as
manufacturing."
long as
what
they
you think
can.
gonna happen?
They gonna grip.
They gonna hold on.
They
They let
digging
LeBron out of
nails in.
contracts. Nothing.
Yeah.
You're worth too much to us.
Yeah.
Kanye gets out here and act the fool, and all these organizations that he's involved of that he says is taking his creative ability away. Now he's no longer under contract with them.
Yep.
He might have lost the
Facts.
revenue, but that's revenue now that he can go and regenerate, and he don't have to cut nobody no piece of the check.
I did like that.
Cause Sway was right.
I did like that.
Exactly. When he was like,
But-
"How Sway House?"
but
Well, now
why-
you're doing what Sway told you to do.
But why go
But
about
is
it?
he?
doing
In
it
that
way?
manner.
Is he?
Why not close
If-
out those contracts and
You
finish
don't know how long they were.
But time out. That's why when you signed him, Kanye
Read.
to me is the worst because
Evolution.
the same thing that he's wanting these companies to do for him, he does it to his
His own
clients.
artists.
Listen.
His
His
artists,
artists.
he locked them into long-term deals, won't let them out.
Because
so now
it's
you
different
wanna
from
be-
being sitting on that side of the table to sitting on this side
But
of the
you
table.
know-
So it's different.
Kanye sitting on
from
both
what
sides of the
si-
table.
Yeah.
Now he's sitting on both sides.
Yeah.
Listen, if Kanye had a master plan, right? If his goal was to get out all these contracts,
Yeah.
why the fuck did he walk into Skechers trying to get a deal? He has no plan.
Escorted out.
Because at this point in time, think about it.
He has no plan. I'm not saying he can't put a plan together, but right now he has no plan.
He started with Nike. Nike was like, yeah, it's cool and what have you, but we ain't going to give you no creative rights whatsoever. Well, you ain't going to give us no creative rights. I'm going to Adidas. Adidas says,
We'll give you
we got something off this. So on one side, we got the athletes. Now we bringing in Pharrell, Kanye along with that. This might get something going. Kanye's looking at this like, well, shit. Now I built your brand, so now you're the number 2 sneaker brand in the country, in the world, I should say. What can I do now to elevate my status again? Let me get the fuck from under Adidas. What's next? I wouldn't have chose Skechers, but hell, if he elevated Skechers to that level,
But why not create your own brand? I found out
Don't
that
forget about New Balance.
Yeezy don't even own the Yeezys.
he
Not
doesn't.
anymore because that's intellectual property of Adidas.
Yeah.
I was trying to
You
figure
know
out
why?
how.
Because he took a dumb
He gonna have to do Yeezys. That's
Yeah.
Yeezy.
New
Yeezy.
Balance. He hasn't New Balance yet.
I don't know.
They're not gonna deal with
But
it.
the
I mean,
same,
I'm with
but
it.
to me,
I like
my
New
thing
Balance.
is, I find it so hard and to be like he wants us to feel so sorry for him. But like I said, he did it to Big Sean. He does it to
Yeah.
he won't let Tiana Taylor out of her deal, and you want all these people to release you just because you said you want to be done. So don't want something for yourself that you don't want for these individuals.
But you know what? The other thing I find that these artists don't get, give the motherfuckers the projects that you sign
And
up
go.
front. What's my man name? Plies, smartest dude I ever seen in music, period. I'm gonna give you 2 records in the same year. DMX did the same thing.
Well, same thing
And-
that
and
Pac did.
3, on the 3rd album, I'm done. I don't owe you shit else. I could go do what I
But
want to
people
do.
want the money. It's because they get the money up front, and you don't know what kind of situation they're coming
I'll turn in
into.
some of the bullshittest records I
Oh,
ever
Let me
seen.
let me ask the table a question.
You know what I'm saying?
Who's your
Shit, no.
who's your closest friend in this room out of everyone in here? Who's your closest friend? All right.
It wasn't. It's not me though.
All right. So who's your closest friend?
Yeah.
If she all of a sudden lost all her closest friends, got a divorce from you, right? Started losing all her business accounts, started promoting White Lives Matter, would you say she's a genius, or would you say she's on a downward spiral?
Something is wrong.
Something
He would
wrong.
know something
No,
is
don't forget the
wrong.
anti-Semitic
Absolutely.
In real life,
Yeah,
what would you
because
say?
we're looking at, but he doesn't want people to say mental health is real. Like he says, it's just it's propaganda for the media. That's what
That
he
sounds
sits
real
and say.
familiar.
Like he would
So
say that.
going back to what Remy said about Kanye bouncing back very well.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, remember, I was
If-
waiting for you because you had your hand up like you was in church.
He said what I'm thinking.
If we come back
He said
5
exactly
years
what
from
I'm
now
thinking.
to this very podcast and look at, damn, Kanye's got his own shoe on his own, not under Skechers, not under Nike, not under Adidas.
I
He's
hope
done
so.
dropped 2 or 3 more albums that are bomb.
His music ain't
You know,
good no more.
You know,
He better
But
the
he
gospel
didn't win
now.
another
Hey,
arenas.
that gospel was busting. He
No.
had them
And
one
some
up,
people-
he
and
linked
some
up
people
with that
like it.
group.
When the group
Boom.
left him and did their own thing, that's what was busting.
Yeah, they were
so
good.
at that point in time, we look back and say, you know what? Damn, yeah, he really bounced back. We can't say that this was all
Right.
a part of the master plan that he had.
I don't know who said it,
But
but I always
Yeah.
say
That's all
I'm
I
rooting
do.
for everybody that's black.
Yeah, that's Issa
Right?
Rae.
I'm
Issa
fine
Rae.
with him bouncing back. I
Yeah.
want him to bounce back.
But I need
But I
him-
don't want him to shit on the stuff that people need and expect. Or you can't say that George Floyd didn't die
yeah, he-
because of the
I
chokehold.
would've-
He died because of overdose. And then go and post a White Lives Matter. Like you can't shit on the
people,
black coat.
yeah,
Yeah,
that you-
like
that
you
you
can't.
asking for us
So I
to
want
do
him to
for
bounce back, 100%.
Gotcha.
I'm rooting for
He just
him.
needs to stop burning.
But he gotta do it differently though.
It feels like we don't want his bounce back to exclude us.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm with you. I don't care.
I don't care about him excluding
Actually,
us.
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Why? Why, Remy?
Listen. Okay, Kanye is like I think people take more ownership over Kanye West than I think most like black celebrities, because Kanye West, he kind of.
I ain't on him since
Has anybody
college.
watched his documentary?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. We saw
It was great, but it wasn't produced by him.
That makes it better in a way. Like autobiographies are
watched it.
trash. If somebody's over here like, yo, I saw all the
This is
awesome
what I
shit
saw,
he was
right,
doing,
yeah.
and I document, and it's a dope ass documentary. So you kind of just see
It's kind of like you trying to go to
this,
court. And
this
represent
motherfucker.
yourself.
This motherfucker in his mind can pick up any object
And
And
so,
hold
and it's gold.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that's how he feels. He feels like it. Was it the Midas touch? Is that what it is?
Midas
Yeah.
touch.
I just-
I
So
just
you
don't-
don't want you feel like you don't want him to forget it. Like I feel like when Kanye, since he's been doing this, ever since he became Kanye Kardashian, I really kind of just went to the rock with him.
You know.
So whatever he does, it never
What you call
impacts
him,
my
Kanye
mind or
Kardashian?
mood about him. I haven't supported him in that same manner because my thing is you started picking up on different things. Like I want you to thrive. I want
Yeah.
everybody to win, and whatever that looks like for them, I want it to be for them. And I don't have to be involved in that process.
Yeah, I agree.
I am at peace with it, not caring what you do next, how many billions you make or whatever else. I want you to be your best version of you.
I'm probably one of the last people in my network that actually held out as long as I could in support for Kanye. Like I bought every Kanye album up until the
Solid.
gospel shit. Like wasn't for me. It wasn't
I
my
love the
crowd.
gospel.
I'm just saying, it wasn't for
Everybody
me.
got a Kanye line. I was like, I stopped fucking with him on this day.
And I believe
I left after,
even when he wore the MAGA hat,
Enemies of
hat,
Heartbreak.
I was like, you know what?
That's when you was
People are
done.
entitled
Oh, you been done with
to have their
Kanye.
own political
You've been done with
opinion.
Kanye
Right.
since the 2000s.
You know?
And I don't let me your political views. Kind of, I mean, it jades how I look at you, like how
A
I
little
feel
bit,
about
a
stuff.
little bit, but you're
it
entitled to
doesn't-
that.
right? But it doesn't
turn
make
yourself
me
to the
say
devil?
that I'm not concerned with their well-being. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make me hate them. I'm like, oh, okay, that's where you at. Okay, I won't have that
Because
conversation.
if you really fuck with
Yeah.
black culture, everyone, not even just black culture, Latino culture too, right? Then you understand that when you see somebody wearing a MAGA hat, that is the new symbol for KKK.
Yeah.
Or that's the new symbol for
Yep.
I don't fuck with people of color.
Yes.
So when he wear the hat, it's like,
But you see some blacks and some Latinos that be
They
right
do.
over there with their
Very
man.
sad.
But they be, you kind of put them in their own little silo over there, like, yeah, that's
You get
them.
brainwashed
That's
by
not
their
us.
white friends.
So I listened to Yeezus. I remember that,
You remember that?
and I didn't like it. And then I listened
Is
to.
that the one with the mountains in the background?
yes.
Yes.
Solomon,
That's
look,
what-
Solomon go.
Yeah,
and he
I
know,
listened
he
to
gonna
that
check.
too. I didn't like it either.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Jesus, I kind of.
Solomon like Life of
He was
Pablo.
still long. I didn't like Life of Pablo.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't like.
Pablo sucked.
You liked it?
Life of Pablo to me is top 3 Kanye albums.
For me, Life of Pablo was supposed to be one of the bounce backs. I was like, nigga, this is about to be it. And then I was like, it's not really it. You know why? The last one he came out with that really got to me was Dark Fantasy. That was
my Dark Fantasy.
That was a
His
bounce
best
back
album ever.
Really?
I'd say top 3, at least top
Was
3.
that Love Lockdown?
No.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
That's when
808s.
you start listening.
Yeah.
That's when.
My
He
Twisted
said,
Dark
I've been saying fuck
Fantasy.
Kanye in 2003. I don't know what y'all
when
talking
people
about.
were like,
I launched
college dropout and then graduation.
Yeah.
Well, great album.
Yeah.
But
you
drop
said
2
what?
albums back to back, like Twisted Dark Fantasy and Life of Pablo.
Yeah.
Those were the best 2 back to back.
Wasn't there one? 808s was in between that though, right? No.
808s.
No,
808s was
before that.
album number.
808s came after Late Registration.
Late registration.
College
I love the
Dropout.
808s was like
College dropout, graduation,
Late,
yeah.
late
Straight up
registration,
graduation, 808s and Heartbreaks.
808s, yeah.
So that's after his mom died.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the stability.
And that's when.
I mean, yeah, that's when everything turned. I think that's when everything turned for him.
Yeah.
And I used to be one of those
And
people.
for me, as
who-
soon as I saw the redhead, I was like, all right.
yeah, I used to always say that.
And the 000 security code on his phone.
This nigga, how you know that?
Oh yeah.
Don't nobody else even know that. Like, that's one of the
You know
main
what I'm
things I
saying?
remember about
That's
that
what
shit.
I'm
That's
about.
crazy.
Yeah.
He's talking all that shit like, look, I got a new plane.
How you a genius?
Right in
That's
front-
your code.
across from
That's
Trump.
so fucking
1, 2, 3, 4,
This
5.
nigga is sitting across from Trump hitting 00000.
So Kim,
So don't even show this man your phone. Get out of there, nigga. Get out in real life.
There's elegance in simplicity, fellas.
There's
no,
not.
it's not.
Now we're hanging up.
Oh my God.
Listen,
You see, I'm paying attention.
Hey, not that simple, my man. Not that simple.
Ain't none of
But
us that
Solomon
simple.
say he
Well, let me
just.
ask you this: are you able to separate Kanye the artist from Kanye the
I
person?
can,
In a way.
but the motherfucker's full of
Because to
shit.
me, the person that he was just don't feel like he even could comprehend or understand the person that he is
He's
now.
not.
Two
I got
different
you.
individuals. Because they had different motives. You know what I mean?
Wait.
Them niggas don't know each other.
I don't know if they had to
Wait. No, I'm thinking about the Kanye has broke ties with Ye.
Yeah, thank you.
That's exactly what you just said. That's
Yeah.
oh my
But
God.
when a man can get on track and say
him.
himself, I miss the old Kanye.
Right.
Yeah.
Kanye, y'all see that movie?
Yeah, he did say that.
Y'all see that Will Smith movie when it was him and then it was like literally his younger self and they had to fight? That's Kanye's life
Yeah, basically.
right there.
I am able to separate the person's personal. I don't put people on a pedestal. I think that's the wrong thing
That's
to
true.
do. I don't think celebrities deserve to be on there because they are human and they're gonna fuck up. They're gonna make mistakes, right? And so I am able to typically separate the two, their music or or I still will go watch a Bill Cosby show. I grew up on Bill Cosby.
Still listen to
I
R. Kelly.
fucking like Bill Cosby. The Cosby
Still listen to
Show.
R. Kelly?
Yeah, I still do.
I still listen to R. Kelly every now and then. I ain't gonna play it in no party. Right? I ain't gonna play it in no party. I'll play it at home.
Let me just say this.
He won't play it when he's cleaning, but if he's trying to get some pussy, he is not
He's not
playing
gonna
R.
play
Kelly.
it.
Is that the most divisive part?
I gotta keep in mind, man. I
Yes.
can't.
Bro, I'm still
Yeah.
playing R.
So
Kelly.
I'm able.
Can't play
yeah.
it seems like you're ready.
Seems like you're ready.
So I can
Hey,
separate.
you gotta
the
pick
two.
one. You can't give up Kanye and R. Kelly.
They give them all.
I'm not giving up R. Kelly.
You can't give up Michael Jackson and Prince. You gotta have one or the other.
I think it's good to
I'm taking both
appreciate
of them.
the talent that
Right.
they are in the industry that they were. For me though, I love Kanye's music.
Yeah.
To me personally now, he has not made any good music.
No.
So now this is just for
And
me.
his label is good.
So if he's not making any good music, and I also disagree with his political views or whatever he's doing, then I need to just step back and not.
Why the hell
be
is
a
your
part
label
of it.
called Good Music?
That's just me.
You know what Kanye?
So when you say no good music, you mean no good albums? Because I mean, he's dropped a couple verses on
No,
some features.
no good albums
Well, he hasn't dropped an album
from
in a minute,
Kanye. Like
He hasn't dropped a Kanye specific album. His albums be kind of like
with a
gospel.
collab.
I used to be able to
with
listen from a Kanye album from
beginning to end.
from beginning
Yeah.
to end.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't do that anymore.
Go back
Like I
to-
gotta, and I was hoping that honestly, I was hoping that Kanye would drop a house music CD.
Right.
Because I like house. He from Chicago.
Yeah.
And,
So I know you love that Beyonce.
who?
Beyonce Renaissance?
She got that.
All right, yeah,
She,
just a little bit.
She gave a
Yeah,
little
just a
house
little bit.
party. Yeah.
But the mind of Kanye, I feel like he being from Chicago, he would do it amazing.
Gotcha.
So
Alright.
I love Kanye, but it is what it is.
So something that Jay said about, and I really like, and that's going to be a perfect transition into the next segment where he's like, he doesn't put celebrities on pedestals, and we're going to talk about the life of celebrities, like I said, in the next segment. So with that being said, we're going to transition, take a break here. We're happy that Riri just dropped a new song. We're gonna go into the break. New album.
What album?
The album came out. The song is being pushed because it's on
What
the
album came out? Hold on.
Rihanna's got a new album
When
And
it come
that's the
out?
song they chose to lead out with.
because it's on the Wakanda Forever soundtrack.
Then they should have had 2 songs.
Wait,
drop. I'm
hold
sorry.
up. What? She got a new album?
Yes.
A&R right there.
She should have had 2
When it
songs.
come
drop.
out?
One for her personal and then one for
What?
her.
Did you know this?
And she ain't tell me.
Rihanna's album.
She
Dropped the
didn't tell me.
album?
Wait. Wait. Hold on.
Is that today?
Wait. Hold on. I am
I
a.
thought it
I
was
know
just
she
a
dropped a
single.
single.
For
thought it was
the
a
Wakanda.
Okay, yeah.
She
I know
dropped
what's
a
happening.
single?
Yeah, she dropped.
But if she
A
dropped the
single.
album, I'm
No, ain't
sorry,
no
that
album.
wasn't good.
Ain't no
I
single.
said that
At
wasn't
least
good
not on.
marketing.
At least not on.
I thought it was gonna be an
Spotify.
album. But
Not
yeah.
on Spotify.
Not yet.
Is it on Tidal? It might be on Tidal.
Could be.
No, my thing was if she dropped the song, like the song, you could tell that "Lift Me Up" was
She ain't
from
ready.
Wakanda. Like
Yeah.
that was
Oh, for
it had to be
sure.
a movie.
She ain't ready to drop
I
it
need
out.
her to, if she had her own album, I would need her to drop about 2 songs.
So we were
One
just
for her
talking about
and
this.
one
I feel like that she is on her way back in because not only did she do the single for Black Wakanda.
Okay,
but she's
I
also
stand
doing-
corrected.
Okay.
Lift Them Up was for Wakanda Forever. Her album is actually dropping Black Friday.
Okay.
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 Really?
I feel like and she's
Hey,
doing
she need a name
and
for
she's
Black
doing a
Friday.
Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
No, it's called
That's
So it
true.
makes
So
sense.
she got a reason to even.
That's
promote
right.
it.
Yeah.
That
Keeping
makes
up
sense.
momentum.
So Black Friday. I'm looking forward. I'm a Rihanna fan.
Black Friday. It's
Me
going to be
too.
called R9.
I'm in love.
Rihanna
with
said,
that.
I want 2 million.
Fighting.
And she
Throwing them elbows
together
for
a long
that
time.
70-inch screen TV.
Listen, I'm a music head, so when you said she
Okay.
dropped the album, I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah,
seen
because
me.
I would have known.
I want to miss yeah, I would have
She
missed
was
that.
over.
So that's
would have known.
so that's what we're going into the break with. During this break, we're going to be listening to Lift Me Up, Rihanna's new
me
album.
hear
You put that on
Let me
there?
hear
Yes, I did.
I want to hear
Okay.
it so I can.
All right, go ahead.
That's new music. We
Let's go.
working
We'll be
stuff
right-
here.
we'll be right back.
Here's her.
Mostly everybody.
excellent TikTok that was posted saying that these women need like these 8 things. But one of the things that I think men fail to realize is that women, we always need to be reassured. And I think that that's where sometimes y'all lose connection with us, because sometimes you think it's an insecurity, but it's a reassuring thing. And it doesn't matter what age and what level, like they need some type of reassurance. So sometimes, like, if I go get my hair done, I be like, "Solomon, you like my hair? Oh yeah, baby, it look good." But that's how I got it last time. He still won't compliment me. I just want to hear him say it, because it's times when my baby will see it and she be like, "Oh, mommy, you look so beautiful today." She 5. That is so sweet, honey. I love you. Thank you for saying that. And I think men take that for granted, that we need to be reassured.
Not all.
So are you saying I'm not smarter than a first grader?
She ain't even in first grade. How about that?
Hey,
She got a late birthday, so she in K4.
Let's not do that.
I'm
Not
just
all
simply
men.
saying.
I mean,
No. I said I think men take for granted. Like, I don't think that they remember. Like, when you first met her, you was, "Hey, good morning.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
beautiful." This and that. Those things, it does something to a woman. So when her man can say, "Hey,"
I don't think most
Grand Rising
men
Queen, motherfucker.
are words of affirmation guys. Like, we're not taught at a very
Until
young
y'all-
age to speak what we thinking openly,
Right.
right?
Right.
We might be. There's been so many times when I was dating this woman, I was like, I'm like, damn, she looks really good. I'm thinking it,
But you won't say it.
but I'm not saying it. So I had to. But I don't think men are like
say it
that.
now.
But now I'm learning, and it's still a part of me that's still like, I still don't do it enough, I don't think. But I just ask, though, isn't that part of, shouldn't women also understand that we have to get to a point where if your man is with you, he understand, like, he think you're beautiful too.
Jay, you said
I
a woman understand. Same sentence.
I know.
don't do that. We don't. So don't do that.
You're in a room
Don't
full of men
dance
right now.
past that, baby.
I'm trying to bring
Don't
an
say
extra woman
women
in, but she didn't
understand.
come.
Don't say women don't
I'm not
understand.
saying it with a negative connotation.
I'm
What I
just
am saying
saying-
is when, and we speak openly here, when you have in mind what it is that you want, it's very seldom that a woman will deviate or veer from what it is that she wants. Where we as men, we don't necessarily put out there what we want, because as Jay said, we will internalize those things with a mindset or a thought process versus verbalizing it to you. You can say, "Hey babe, I went to the hairdresser today and got my hair done, and you didn't even tell me my hair looked good." So you verbalize that you're looking for that affirmation from me. Versus
Because I done heard it in the street, so I shouldn't hear it in the street. I need to hear it from at home.
Well, you go hear it in the street, 'cause they still trying to fuck it. They trying to fuck.
exactly.
Yeah.
They trying to fuck. Let's keep
What do I
it
do?
real.
Wait, but let me explain, because I understand that mindset. When my husband looks nice and I'm like, "Babe, you look good. You smell good. I love it." I'm hitting it first because I don't want nobody else. So when the woman in the street, it's just affirmation for him
sure,
now,
for sure,
because
for sure.
he done heard it from somebody else.
But in that, to bounce that back, we are more creatures of action versus creatures of saying it. So when you're saying, I'm getting these compliments, I know you're getting compliments. Why is that? Because I make sure that I put you in a position to do that.
I'm done.
Hold on. You say my husband all the time spends more money than I do. When I spend money, 95% of the time, who am I spending it on?
You
No.
and Royal.
No, I'm not. I will easily jump online and be like, damn, my woman
I
was fire in that.
will say you will, and even if it's a strikeout, I still be like, okay, I'm gonna try it, babe. That really ain't work
Hey,
out.
listen, it's
He
sometimes I will
does.
buy some shit and like, Shannon gonna look fine as hell in that. And she be like, where you want me to wear that to? Yeah, hold on. Hey, she'll put it on like, babe, I don't feel comfortable in this. I'm like, don't worry about it, just be yourself. Get there, and then all of a sudden people be like, girl, you look good tonight. I'm like, so it took them
And see,
motherfuckers saying it.
and here's the thing. That is you verbalizing what you
Had in mind.
had in mind that you will look good in. So he's saying you're going to look good in that. So he might not say it all the time when you will get your hair done, but he's saying, damn, she's going to look good in those heels.
I just want men to keep that in the front of their
like that.
mind. It's just to affirm,
gotta
like
take
remember
that,
to
yeah.
affirm, because you don't you get it, like it's days we see each other and we like, oh, okay, babe, I'm going to bed, ain't that like it's tiring. You get into a routine
Words
and it's
of
hard.
affirmation is hard for me.
Yeah.
That's something that I have had to work at, and I still struggle even with anyone that I'm dating. And I know they want to hear the words, Hey, damn! You don't never say good morning.
But
Beautiful.
you good to say, oh, that pussy was good, man. You affirm then, so affirm with them clothes on. Like I need to hear that affirm. Like affirm for me.
Yeah.
Fat ass.
And then jeans.
It's a comfortable thing, man. Like,
Why you got so quiet when we said that affirmation? What?
Yeah.
You thinking? Do you affirm your lady?
Yes.
My girl kind of taught me about affirmation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Well, I mean a little bit, but
A little bit, not a lot of it.
I don't feel no kind of way when if a woman tells me, "Damn, you look good," and that shirt look good on you. You looking good.
Or like, okay. You
Oh
have
my gosh.
It doesn't mean anything for me. It doesn't do anything for me.
I got you.
But if she cooking me, if she bring me a plate of food with my favorite drink, I'm like, damn.
Now, she appreciate me.
She appreciate me.
Oh my
Or
God.
I'm just giving you an example.
But
I can understand that, but I'm saying it's no different in the sense that if you go out in the street and you see this chick with this fat ass, she got slim with Coke bottle, everything bad, and she be like, "Dang, daddy, you look good in that shirt." Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah,
The ego looks real
the
good.
eco came in, but your girl just said that at home.
Yeah, thank you very much.
See?
But I personally, even when a stranger says it to me, yes, it inflates my ego some, but I don't feel loved.
Okay.
I don't feel appreciated. I feel appreciated by you doing an act of service or showing me that you see a need and you feel it.
Okay.
Right? I got some
See,
holy.
so
I got some
very-
holy ass jeans. Instead of you coming over there and saying, "Damn, you wearing the same ass jeans again?"
Yeah, I got you.
Maybe you
Same
said,
ass
"Baby,
jeans, yeah.
I bought you a pair of jeans because I saw you needed them."
It's a need.
Damn.
Gotcha.
She
She feeling
So
me.
you're like
She feeling me.
He's an actual service guy.
I'm an acts of service guy.
Thank you.
So it just depends
And
on.
most guys are.
I think most guys are.
Most guys are.
At the service, you are a gifter. You like.
I like giving gifts.
You're
That doesn't mean I don't like receiving them as
It's
well.
you
Do
like
you
to
give? Do you give them gifts?
Yeah,
Oh,
give
she
him
give them
gifts.
gifts.
this guy, he said, hey,
You like lobbing up like how you feel like no.
I was waiting.
It's not so for me. I am a person like I'm gonna meet those needs.
Yeah.
So if everything else like you don't have to worry, be like, babe, hey, we need garbage bag. I already know because I'm already checking it. So you don't have to worry about that. It's going to happen anyway. Or, hey, I know he got his laundry. He hadn't washed it yet. Let me go ahead and throw these in. Let me get this done. I'm that. He likes gifts. So he does like for you to show your appreciation. And I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn how to do that. Like, I don't mind, taking you out to eat or let's go grab something. Me and you, let's just have this one-on-one time. I like the time and I like being able to sit there and talk. But I had to get in a space of buying him gifts. And I was like, because he has an eye for certain things. I'm so, just blank. Like, I'm plain. I'm just so chill. I don't have to have all the sparkle and stuff like that. You could buy me my favorite team shirt, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is my dude right here. Because that's how mellow I am when it comes to that type of stuff. I'm not fascinated with it. Now, mind you, when we were dating in the beginning, Solomon was gifting hard, buying all kind of stuff. And my thing was like, yeah, he was wooing me wrong because I grew up in a sense of when my dad would do stuff wrong, he would buy expensive, extravagant gifts. So gifting for me is different. I process it so differently. Like you don't have to.
What'd you do? You messed up somewhere and give me his gift.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Yeah.
What's your
And
top love language?
That's how I go.
What's your top love language?
It would be words of affirmation because I just like to hear how you feel. And
Okay.
I want to be able to see it too. But it's just for me growing up in a house where you ain't really hear too much. You know what I mean? You just want to hear that.
That's
You know what I mean?
realness.
So
Reggie,
keep
what's
me
your
honest with
top one, Reggie?
action.
Acts of service? Action. Solomon, gifts?
I would say gifted.
You want some money?
So yours is words of affirmation?
Probably so. I would say that words of affirmation.
Ain't no probably.
I would definitely. I would probably because I can be in between with two of
Well,
them.
you can have more than one for sure.
But I would
Yeah,
definitely. I probably
that's
would
my
say
top one.
affirmation because it lets me know that this is good. This works. This
Give
is
me that
right,
physical.
we're working.
The physical touch.
Yeah.
Church, that physical touch.
I like
What you
that.
say?
Ah,
That's
go
my
ahead.
I think I'm
Super easy for me.
perfectly balanced.
That ain't
No, I think like for real, middle of the road. Like if I'm not getting one thing, I'm gonna be complaining
You
about
gotta say
something else.
something?
Depends on how the week goes. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm just curious.
Remy, man, I ain't seen you in a couple years since that one set party. Your book started saying.
One set,
Dude,
okay.
you give me very, very Prince vibes. It's like hardcore. You sit back.
So
and
you
it's
so
like,
you
Hey,
are you
that's
telling
loud
Remy that
lately.
you would die for him?
You love me.
See you again, man.
I'm in these streets.
Okay.
All right.
You better be careful on them streets.
Look, I told her don't put the grass next to my shit and I can't see.
Yeah, man.
But no, so Remy, which one you talking about? You so balanced, but what if you had to choose? What would be your favorite, or what would be the one that?
I really don't have an answer.
Okay.
I'm not positive. I haven't really thought about it in a while.
Have you read the book? Read the book.
I don't read, man.
You said
an audio book?
There's
There's an
told
audio
me
book?
about the book, and
I
I,
do
was
the-
like, I don't want to read. But then when I read
Actually,
the book,
you
then I
know-
took the test. And
Take
I
the
was
test. You
like,
ain't read the
oh,
book no more. You just take the test.
The test kind of let me know what time it was.
Because most of us communicate in the action that we need,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
So you are always doing shit for your fiance, whatever,
Acts of
something done
service.
for
acts of service, then you're gonna feel like she ain't doing shit for you to make you feel loved.
And I really know that I'm words of affirmation because I have a kid who, when she does stuff, she be like, "Go boy, yo." 'Cause and I realize that I've created that because that's what I do. So when she's doing something, I do it to her. Like I be like, "Oh, okay." Like if I be her, I be like, "Go, mommy." Like and it runs off on her. So with him, he's so chill. He be like,
Someone
"Hey."
once said to me, I don't know if it's true or not, but I kind of believe it, that the love language that we need is the trauma that we didn't get, like
That's exactly what it is.
as a child. So like for me, physical quality time is really important as well. Like that's probably my top one is quality time. But my dad wasn't around in my life, right? All I had was my mom. There's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, I
Yeah.
love my mom and my sisters, but what did I want the most? Quality time with my father. So now as an adult, I want quality time with my woman, the thing that's
Oh,
important
wow.
to me.
So,
So
Y'all hear Jay out there, he looking
I don't know
for
if it's
some quality
true or
time.
not, but I can see the
You see
correlation.
the parallel.
Yeah.
So Jay, what you saying that that you're single out here in these streets? Are you looking to date, or are you just happy with the way your setup is right now and just?
I am actually looking to date. I date. I date with the intention of finding a forever partner. And that doesn't mean that's the space I'm in now, right? 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, I wasn't in that space. Maybe I was in a casually dating space.
Yeah.
But now I'm dating with the purpose of finding someone who is going to be with me for the long term.
So we've had a couple different females sit in that same seat and ask these same questions. So I'm gonna ask you the same ones. Is there a specific type that you're looking for? You got a checklist that you checking off. She's gotta be
yeah,
this. She's gotta be that.
Don't do that.
As I gotten older, I'm 41 now. So as I've gotten older, believe it or not, my checklist has gotten smaller. But the things that are on that checklist are vital.
Oh,
Care to
Right.
share?
So for one, acceptance. They have to accept me for who I am. Like, so I'm not a Christian. I'm not a religious guy. I'm very upfront, honest about that. If you don't have a problem with that, then I'm not the man for you, right? And so acceptance. Gotta have a great personality. You can't teach somebody to have a great personality. Either you got it or you don't.
Right.
Right?
Hit or miss.
I'm a very social guy. You have to be able to
Understand?
operate in that circle without me having to check on you all the time,
Ooh, wow.
right? Like I'm gonna check on you, baby.
But you
good.
can't babysit her. I get
I
it.
can't babysit you though, cause
Yeah.
I need you to mingle and do your thing and be good.
So you and your girl at a party. You dating. You and your girl at a party. Huge crowd. Let's say 100 people in the party. What have you? You guys get separated because you and your circle doing your thing. She's out mingling, what have you. How much time elapsed before y'all touch base and say, hey, just checking in, make sure you're good?
10, 15 minutes. I'm always looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you at? Yeah, good. I'm good.
Give it-
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's always gonna be this connection.
Don't necessarily mean y'all got to be
But I don't want it to be like this.
Exactly.
You all right?
Yeah.
Like, cause now I'm not having no fun.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But just a little nook and a nod.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
because that's not going to change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We need
I-
personal space. We need public space too.
I network. I have friends. I need you to have your friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like have your own life. Like and just be open minded. I'm an open minded guy. So I don't care about like I date different types of women. Like I date women with natural hair, permed hair, straight hair, lock.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
You know, like, but at the end of the day, I just need you to, man, be a dope person, man.
Yeah.
Like how hard is it to be a dope person and
Gotcha.
be okay understanding that? 'Cause I believe that men have everyone has evolved. Women have evolved. Women make more money.
Yeah.
Women have better jobs. They have different aspects in life, but men have evolved as well. And I'm not gonna pay all your bills.
Right.
I'm not doing it.
I get you, and I think that's a conversation that I think, and I've had that a lot recently with women that I know. When I'm like, so when you're single, like, are you expecting him to come in? Because see, even me and
A lot of them
Solomon,
do.
our situation is we'll never stay anywhere where one of us can't pay the bills by ourselves.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that he paying all the bills. He pay majority of them. Like, I pay my half, whatever. But if you don't pay all of them,
individual.
let me tell you why I would never let him pay all of them.
So you
I
like
don't
that.
ever want you to be able to say, this mine.
Right.
Get out. Give me part. Who? That don't reside with me.
I think that's
So I'm
true,
always in that
50-50.
mindset of,
Yeah.
okay, baby, yeah. He's like, okay, well, I paid this part of the rent. You paid this amount. You know, you pay this, I paid it. Like, it's kind of in that mindset. So I think that women aren't always like now because of how everything
Old
is so high.
traditions.
That
Everything's
tradition is
changed.
gone.
Everything
yeah.
has changed. Women are making, most women in my network
Empowered.
are doing better than black men, right? Financially and whatnot.
Right.
And so why are you still asking this man to
pay all your
pay all your shit? Like, you don't.
Yeah.
That's not something that you need.
Right.
What you need is someone to fill your emotional space,
Right.
your physical space, your spiritual, not the
Right.
financial space.
Right.
And so for me, I'm okay if I'm paying all the bills. I'm not saying I won't pay all the bills, but what are you doing with all your money?
Right.
Are you putting it into a joint account for us?
Yeah, I got you.
Where's your money going?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna pay all the bills and you still out there splurging.
Right. What are you doing all that for?
I'm
Make
just saying.
you-
Let me
boy,
go
bye.
to
That's just me.
No,
That's
You got a good point there.
No, it made
good
no,
counsel.
And I
that's
think
solid.
most men, I don't know how old the gentlemen are in this room, but I feel like most men that
40.
are a certain
45,
age
46.
are at a point where it's like, look, this is what I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna build with you, I'm gonna pay, I don't mind paying. I'm not paying for everything. I need you to do your part because you making just as much as I am.
Right.
Hell yeah.
I got you.
You know?
And 2 is always better than fucking 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's always math.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
So,
100%.
so Solomon and I were watching Love and Basketball the other day.
Talk about it.
Oh, here we
And
go.
the scene came up where he, Q got mad
Y'all don't
because
want none of
Sydney
this?
couldn't. Nah, I'm good.
Can't mix that in.
I'm good.
I mixed last week.
So Sydney and Q are having a confrontation where she had to meet curfew. His dad just found out his dad was cheating, his mama leaving, they're going through divorce. And so immediately he goes into a mode of, let me go find somebody else to be up under who got time because she don't have time. Now when they were growing up, both of them played basketball. They understood
Yeah.
sports was life.
Yeah.
But in that one moment, he thought she was being selfish. So Solomon and I, when they get back together and they have a conversation, and he's like, well, I don't want to be with you. And it did hurt. She was like, well, what do? I know I was, whatever. She's going into apology mode.
Yeah.
My stance was, why is she apologizing? He understood the assignment. Like, he understood that if it was him, she wouldn't have asked him to miss curfew because she understood that was his dream and his desire.
But in the
His
same
response
token, what did
was-
he say?
You wouldn't have had to
You would
ask
never
me.
have to ask me because I would have already have done it.
Okay, so now I'm gonna get you. You know why? I've been waiting for this all day. So Tom Brady and Giselle.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Tom Brady and Giselle.
I'm listening. Go.
Same scenario. She had to ask him and he said no. He chose no.
Okay.
But your stance is he wouldn't have had to. She wouldn't have had to ask. He would have just did.
What I'm saying in the Brady and Giselle aspect of it is, for the man is 45 years old. He's been playing football since he was 8.
8.
That's 37 years of playing football. That's all he knows. He understands to be at the level that he's at right now, it takes time. You have to have a passion that is unlike any other to sustain the level of excellence. Hold on, to sustain the level of excellency that he has for so long. At this point in time, he would not have been married to Giselle had he been working a 9-to-5 at Walmart.
He wouldn't have been able to run in them same circles.
He wouldn't have been, even if he was the manager of the Apple store, he would not be married to Giselle Bundchen.
Right.
So she knew who he was when she married him.
But
You knew what his commitment was.
You don't
That's
think,
what makes him Tom Brady.
So you don't think that they had been having conversations about when this was gonna end? Because everybody in the world seemed to be catching wind that this was the end. And he went back on what he said he was doing.
First of all, you don't know what he said.
I'm simply
That's
saying.
what all the greats do. I'm gonna retire, but I'm coming back.
Come back.
But this lady was like,
Jay-Z
but
did
all the greats ain't playing at 45.
That's what makes him the
Right,
greatest.
but that's why she's like, what more do you have to prove?
This is all I am. This is all I know.
Did Jay-Z retire?
The Black Album.
The Black Album.
That was just a ploy, though. The way I look at it for Jay. But I think with Tom, we like to make jokes about it or whatever. But I think he's chasing a number that he wants no one to ever catch. And then playing football, it is very hard to catch that. You know what I mean?
But you know
He's
who
got every
undefeated.
single record broken though.
But do you know who undefeated?
Father Time.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
And he banging at that damn door.
we
And
see
you
it.
see Tom
see it right
looking
now.
depressed as hell out there trying to.
Hold on now. Now think about
Do
it.
we not
into a million
see it?
pieces.
Do we not
It's
see
gonna
it?
get dusted.
Let's see on Thursday night.
Like Thanos.
Is that time?
Thanos.
And it's funny that you said that because I have a perfect thing with that
Go
when it
ahead.
goes to our sports picks later on. He's chasing that number. I don't believe it's Father Time catching up with him. I think this is fucking with his head is what it is. Because
It's possible.
when you get report, I mean, she'll tell you we're season ticket holders.
Yeah.
So Thursday night we're leaving the game. I'm pissed off that we lost the game. So we listening to the post game show and the reporter's like, all the players have cleared out. Tom Brady is still sitting in front of his locker with his uniform on.
Like, is he gonna pull him
He knew that. Damn, you know what? I gotta go home.
To nothing.
Nothing.
Really.
And tomorrow the news is about to break that this shit is
Yeah.
final.
That's what got the Will
That's
Smith
really what I was
thing.
thinking too. Like,
Yeah.
That's what got the
He
Will
didn't
Smith
want to
thing.
leave that fucking locker room.
yeah.
Right now, his family is that damn team, and they ain't doing their damn part.
Here's my perspective.
Go
Hold
ahead.
on. Yes. Go ahead, Jay. I got something for that.
If, to your point, this is all I've done for 38 years, whatever it is, right? And me and my wife and I have a conversation about, look, this is my last year. I'm going to retire. That's the agreement. And I retire, and then I go back.
50 days later.
I understand why she's pissed off with one divorce because
But hold on.
because now you
Oh
done
my
broke your
God.
promise. You done
So-
broke your
Jay, you want to
promise.
be a side bay?
No,
Like, I'm trying, because
I don't have side bay energy. I am a main dude energy. No,
you understood the assignment.
Here's the
Like,
narrative.
like, I understand it.
Here's the
I
narrative. No.
understand it.
Think about this, and if I'm wrong, say hell, Jay, maybe you do the same. Saw hell no, that's fucked up. No, that.
Go ahead.
I believe that he retired.
Under pressure.
I believe he retired, and it was already stated that, hey, listen, this ain't gonna work. We're about to split. And when she said that, he's like, fuck it. I'll just go back and play football. And the reason I say that is because the reports that you saw
How
yesterday.
fast that divorce
No,
was.
it wasn't. Oh, they filed paperwork. No, it was like the divorce is finalized.
Finalized.
So I believe the paperwork was filed months ago, and that's why he came
I can
back.
see it both ways. I can see that.
I think that's
I
what
can
made me
see
that.
that maybe he said I'm retiring, and then she said I want a divorce. He was like, well, fuck it, I'm going back.
I'm going back
so
to
I can see that
see that
perspective
part of
as
it.
well. You know,
But-
but yeah.
And I
dude
told
just
Solomon,
come
I
up.
told Solomon I understood, I could see that, but that explains a lot to how he's trying to process, because you're still trying to be Tom fucking Brady, but your armor is cracked. You know, your rib is exposed right now. Like
Your foundation is not strong anymore.
It's actually yeah. So I kind of understood that, but to go back to Q in what's your girl?
Not the kids.
Sydney, about her choosing basketball because that was what she was there to do. He knew how hard she fought to get that scholarship. So why would you want her to compromise it? Because you're going through your dad's divorce. Like, we could talk about this.
But
It
it's-
ain't like the divorce was finalized the next day.
But at the same time, she knew who she was marrying. right? She knew that. That's what he did. That was his life. You chose to be a part of that.
Yep. You chose to get involved.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been with
We
him
all
if he
got
wasn't who he
we all
was.
got to take ownership of our part in every part of relationships or the breakup in the
tell you like
success.
this.
And it's the demise now at this point. Like I think that it's crazy how the media, as long as like the number one goal, and they've stressed that, was their kids. That's all that matters at the end of the day. I don't like what we do as adults
That's the publicist talking.
is okay. No, that's them for real. Like I believe that if he was like that about his oldest son.
Oh, yeah.
He legitimately feels about, I don't care nothing about what you as a woman have to do. Make sure my kids are in place when I need them, that we are part of this agreement. I've never seen a divorce. Well, I ain't really paid attention, but that was one of the fastest divorces with people with money.
Yeah, it was super fast.
Is
was already in
Kanye and Kim still
process.
married?
It was already in
Is
process.
Kanye and Kim divorce final?
No, they divorced finally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When you got
Right.
money, that's going away, right?
Yeah.
away.
I believe the 11 days that he took off in training camp, where people said, he was going to try and
Down to the
Mad singer.
Stuff.
no, not the
Oh.
not the Masked Singer. I don't think he was going to try and salvage the marriage. I think that now that it's come out, that they've been taking classes on how to co-parent together and what have you.
Had to
I think
explain to those children.
that was what took place in those 11
He had
days.
mediation.
I think it was done
had to
with.
explain to those children like this is what's going on,
she
and
finally
you really
in
have to
Florida?
come back.
These are gonna have
Yeah,
2
she
Christmases
did.
now.
Oh, yeah, they had to do mediation.
Yeah,
And he had to be there.
yeah.
And
So
you-
I'm not mad at that, but it
But
it
the
is what it
team
is.
knew
I had the
about
chapter.
Which is why I don't want to get fucking married.
Really,
Facts.
but you can marry somebody so awesome.
You could.
But
it's still
look at the
the
world we're in
divorce.
right now.
And the court is more geared to women
Yeah.
and women's rights, and women need.
And
I'm not against it.
I'm not arguing.
I'm just saying,
I'm not
personally-
arguing. I'm not arguing.
So earlier when you asked me if I was single, that's why I said like I'm looking for my forever partner. I don't care about marriage. Like,
So let me tell you why I hate that term, like your forever partner. And let me. I'm just gonna say this, because you know what happens if something happened to you with your forever partner. She end up sounding like a faithful dog in your obituary. Something happened to you. You know who coming? Your mom or your next of kin gets to say whatever happens,
Well,
and what
yeah.
that person gets is whatever they allow. So it'll be.
I mean, that's whatever's put
she
in
is
your
your
will.
loyal,
part.
faithful.
That's what's put in your
That's
will.
right there.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many of us have wills that can sustain with an attorney for the length of time that you need that for? It's not many of us. So therefore, what happens a lot of times is, his long-term girlfriend, she was loyal, faithful, so and so.
Yeah.
He leaves behind his mom, his all the cousins,
And
and,
a special
she
friend.
and a special friend at the bottom.
yeah.
That sounds like a
Not the
fucking
special
Labrador
friend.
retriever.
Don't forget.
That sounds
Loyal,
like
close person.
sounds like a golden retriever.
I'm not against.
Was it a nurse?
I'm not
Yeah.
against
Was it
marriage.
about a nurse?
right.
I think in the right,
Why she
right
crying like that?
situation, it's a beautiful thing.
She trying to pull him out.
I would absolutely get married.
But you
it's
wanted
not
to
a deal
under
breaker
the
for me.
understanding that you want to
Yeah,
be
it's
in love,
not.
like
Yeah,
forever
it's not a
partner.
deal breaker for me.
I get
Because
you.
if I meet a young lady who's already been married twice, right? I'm 41. I just say divorce happens, right? Divorce happens. She's already been married twice. And she says,
The
"Look,"
third time the charm.
she's like, "Look, I don't want to be married again,
Okay.
but I fucking love this woman. I'm just gonna throw it away because."
No, I get, and I
No.
can understanding that. And
So I said I want my forever partner. I'm good with just being. Look,
He
I
talking
didn't
about
even
that
know you
Will
in
and
it.
Jada shit.
We ain't here forever, for sure, 100%.
right.
People make fun of Will and Jada.
But
we-
isn't it
we-
easy to leave in just a long-term
It
relationship?
is easier to leave, but this motherfucker right here believe you should renew your marriage license every 3 years anyway.
Really.
Really?
3 to 5.
To make sure you still
years.
want
It
to
depends
be.
It depends on your representation. You know what I mean?
I like
She had
that.
a contract.
I like that
Well, why we ain't did that? We on 8.
because I mean,
I missed 2
Wait a minute,
different
time out on
marriages
YouTube real
based
quick.
on his numbers.
Wait,
Hey,
I got
look,
something.
look,
Wait,
I can't help that you missed the filing deadline.
I think black folks kind of do that anyway. Like at about 10 years, y'all just kind of look at each other over the table. You're like, we
still doing this?
I'm gonna watch TV. You stay in here.
Okay,
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
have you two ever considered getting another wedding? But like
Renewing
doing
our
a big
vows.
time?
Doing about
Solomon
So,
brought that
renewing
up a
the
while
vows.
ago. So first off, when we had a wedding in the first place, I think Solomon wanted me to have a wedding because he had one the first time, and that was what she did. So for me, it was like, I don't really have to do this. We can get married and have a big family gathering afterwards. Like I'm cool with that.
No,
That's
so
done for
I
me.
mean, to clarify what it was, back then when I went through my first marriage,
Yeah, I ain't get no invite either.
Go to my first man.
Damn, Trey Sinatra.
I didn't get no invite either. Just so y'all know, I don't.
The nigga ain't even asked me to sing at his wedding. How you don't ask Eddie Kane to sing at his wedding?
Nights like this, I wish the raindrops would fall. Best movie ever.
In my first marriage, man, it was like my wife had just, basically broke the bank with the job she got. I mean, they were just throwing money at her left and right. So she was like, I want this big wedding. My thing was, hell, you paying for it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you just tell me time and date to show up, you know?
Yeah.
And she went all out with it. So my thing was, with this marriage, I didn't want her to think that I slighted her versus anything that my first wife did. So when I was like, hey, listen, I want this big wedding with him, she's like, no, we don't need that. And I was like, cool, more money in our pocket. You know?
And it was so funny because for him, when we did do the marriage thing, like we paid for like our venue and the food and all of that stuff, but my mom paid for my dress. Like my uncle paid for our DJ. Like this is what they wanted. What you want as a gift? Oh, you can pay for the DJ. Like, okay, cool, no problem. Oh, you can pay for the photographer. Like, oh, we're gonna do this. Fine. And it was a family effort versus it just being all on us. Because I was like, ain't no way we're gonna be broke and have to go to work next week, and we all our money spent at a wedding. Like that.
What's
makes
the
no
number
sense.
one reason for divorce?
Finances.
Money.
Finances or infidelity.
Correct.
Yeah.
So most people can't even afford the wedding that they plan for, that they want.
So
But-
City Hall time.
I ain't saying City
My
Hall.
City Hall done got spicy now. They done up there, got a garland, everything, gazebo, all of that.
Hey, go Las Vegas.
You got gazebo now?
Yeah, they don't change it. They
Vegas.
try to make it look like you at somewhere for real. They don't put a different backdrop on that. Yeah, they ain't with it.
We in Vegas.
But we're trying.
Thank you.
So
Thank
Jay,
you.
going back to what you were saying with the long-term relationships, are there any deal breakers in long-term relationships that possibly wouldn't be there had you been married?
Deal breakers.
So, like, for example, if in a marriage, if there's some infidelity there because you've been married, you don't want to go through the whole process. You're like, all right, we're gonna work this out. But in a long-term relationship, hey, we ain't got no ties to each other. You take your shit, I'll take my shit. We go.
Throw out the window.
I mean, personally for me, I'm breaking up a divorce, and regardless of cheating, I'm not the cheating type. Doesn't mean I haven't thought about it, right? Like we done all fucking thought about it, right? Like, but
who's the one celebrity or person that you, if you were in a situation,
You had to
like
pass
that,
for it.
you get
Like,
a pass
what's
for
the-
it.
oh, Holly Berry, 100%,
Really?
100%.
You gonna waste it on Holly?
I still love Holly.
I would have
I
thought
still
you.
love Holly.
No, Remy is not talking. He ain't got nothing.
That's right. He off the
It's
market.
off the table. Hello.
If you got that situation, what will be your the web pass?
Rihanna.
Riri.
And I guess that's more sense.
Solomon.
Cause that sound
Mine
like she
changes.
she
It
freaky.
changes
Yeah.
too.
Riri got a big forehead though. I got a big forehead too. Right?
Grab her forehead just like this.
I told you.
Don't worry, baby. I got the forehead.
I got you. Just keep doing that. Yes.
Mine changes from day to day. I mean,
Yeah, no,
it could
me
see
too, man.
the person that I seen last, or I mean, hell, I could say being a wrestling fan, I could say Bianca Belair.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Man.
Okay.
Yes, he good too.
Oh, it's Aaron Donald.
And
It's Solomon He can get it. I'm gonna tackle him in it like jumping on a bus. Yeah.
Serge, what's your pass?
I don't know.
Don't put Serge in there.
I can't.
Yeah, I'm
think
like
of
Solomon.
anything.
Mine changes all the time. Mine was a Janae Aiko this last week. This week is Zazie Beetz.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Zazie
Zazie
Beetz
Beetz.
from Atlanta.
So yeah, deal breaker would definitely be cheating. And I only say that because I'm a very open-minded individual about sex in general. Right? I'm one of those type of guys that with me and my woman, we're on vacation and she want to have some fun, we can have some fun. And I'm not gonna hold it against my woman. Like that's just life
We
is
enjoying
life.
it. Yeah, got
right?
you.
That's how I am. I'm okay with that. So for me, cheating is a deal breaker because you should not ever be able to say, "Hey, I'm struggling in this area and I'm thinking about this because I'm trying to create. I've already hopefully created a safe space
Well, you can
for
talk
you,
to me
for
about
you to talk
yeah.
to me about it.
Yeah.
And so for you to go knowing that we have a safe space and you still chose to go out and fuck somebody else. I'm like, okay, you want to fuck somebody else? Like, well, let's talk about it. Can I do it too?
Can I get that?
Cause if we both can do it and we still good, then we all right.
What
But if the answer is, but if your answer is, yeah,
That's the premise for a movie.
I'm just saying. But if the answer is no, I can't do it, but you can, then I know it's a selfish,
Right.
it's a selfish spot.
Well, that's always
what I mean?
been our thing right there. Like,
If
yo,
you
if
can
it's
do it, I
good
can
for
do
you,
it.
it better be good for you.
Yeah.
You better be able to be like, okay, Shannon, you gonna deal with this? Solomon, you gonna deal with it? Okay. 'cause
Exactly.
Every action is a reaction.
Right.
So, like, you got to be able to deal with
It can't be a one-sided thing. So for
Absolutely.
me, cheating is
Nah,
the
ain't gonna
absolute
dangle
deal
it in you,
breaker.
you know.
I'm just saying, look, no, we just don't look. No, we ain't finna do that. So let me ask y'all: do you think it's like if? So it was a show, podcast. I can't even think of it right now. But his baby mama Jada Chavez went on there and said she had sex. She's like she can't fall in love with nobody until she's had the D. So of course that ended up being the person she ended up with. She said, "Yeah, try it on the first date." What are your ideas? Like, do you think of a woman differently if she has sex with you on the first date? Does it immediately take off the table of being your main lady?
I'll go last, fellas.
I believe in spontaneous things, and if it happens on the first date and it was good, yeah, absolutely. And it was bad, you're like, well,
So it take off, but she could have checked all these boxes while you were on the date, and the one thing she got home and you got that bed and that it wasn't a wet like you thought it was.
for me personally, one of the more important, not the top thing, but one of the more things in a relationship is sex.
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
Okay. Understood.
It's like kissing. We gotta kiss.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Because there's a segment of women, and it really
It's a
shocks me
long
that they don't like kissing. I'm like,
It's
are
a
you
long
kidding?
part.
Because
I need
what else?
I need some sugar, baby.
But we've been sugarless in
But
my
they get
house
sugar
this
you?
week.
No.
It's been a cold.
No, but that's one thing. I'm like, it's not the top tier thing,
Gotcha.
but it's on within the top 3 or 5
Okay.
Can't
things.
have sex.
So
I
what
need to
about
know-
it?
I need to feel something from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I need
She
that
is dope as all everything, but the sex
You be
wasn't.
Rihanna with all that
So
shit, you
she's
fuck
off
up,
your
you-
box. Like that's it.
I'm
The
gonna think
first
of
off,
this
if she did it on the first night and it just did not go well, would you try and double back on another date or?
Three times.
You'll
Well,
try
let me tell
again,
you.
or what? Doing that first
Everybody has
night.
their Nick Anderson moment, and Miss Free
You're allowed
Girls
to
on
have
the
that.
ocean.
Hey, let's not bring this up.
Maybe she.
let's just look at it the way that it needs to be looked at.
She could be Shaq. She said,
Basically, some nights you're on, and some nights you're not. So I will give you another shot
yeah. Okay.
to let me know what the deal is, and then
So you don't think any other way of a woman who wants to try you out on
listen.
the first
If you
night?
want to give it to me the first day you see, the first hour,
I'm gonna be shocked. I'm gonna be shocked.
I'm gonna be like, hey,
I'm gonna be a little nervous.
yeah. I will feel the
Like, wait, I can't even get it up right now. It's me, not you. Like, what happened?
I am like that too. I would probably feel like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? I want to do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Take my pants off, body go out. No, fuck that.
Hey, well, if she go there and start messing with me, I'm gonna let her get it on.
I've never.
That's how you feel, baby?
So, well, that's never been. So my rule, even when Jalen was like, "Yo, I like him." I've never had a first date sex thing. Yeah, no, I've never done that.
I've never had
But
first
my
date
thing
sex.
is, I am gonna test drive the car. Like I got to test drive the car because
100%.
that's not something I want to get into. I ain't purchasing sight unseen.
So
I'm not.
second
That ain't
date
me.
then.
No, I mean it ain't been the second date. Maybe third.
I've got it.
Maybe that third date.
Okay.
Never
That
the
third
first.
date. I've
Hey.
never done it on the first date.
Always take her on 3 dates.
I ain't gonna lie. I did something with somebody. I ain't see the motherfucker no more.
I've had one night
So
stand.
is that more
Talking about not
say on
going a
you?
date.
I feel like at the time,
Solomon always thinking to close the deal.
it was
Just
on.
FYI.
Hold on. What did I tell y'all last week?
Always be closing.
Glengarry Glen Ross, ABC. Always closing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Solomon.
the thing is,
And if
we
he
was
don't get it,
both
he's just like,
drinking.
oh, okay, I got her next time, though, because she thinking about
There's
it.
always the next
That
time.
sounds.
We
You
was
gotta set
both
up your pieces.
we was both drinking and everything. It was leading that way from the time we started talking to whatever. I kind of knew what it was, and I was like, you know what? I ain't never did this before.
You sound like a woman.
So tonight, in the words of Whitney Houston, so tonight is the night, and I'm feeling all right.
Oh, my God.
So come on.
I've never had a one night stand, but I have dated ended up in a relationship with someone who it was supposed to just be sex, right?
Oh, that shit
like
totally.
her and I agreed that it was just gonna be a one-time thing of having sex. Huh?
Who caught feelings?
Well, no one caught feelings, but me, being the man that I am, was like, I was like, I'm wondering if she's interested in more, or if it's just sex. So instead of just assuming, I asked her directly. So like, hey, is this just sex, or you? Cause we're already
like
cool.
You're interested in more when you say,
Well, she was fine.
So was this at the first time having sex, or had you had sex a couple times?
No, it was the first. So I didn't ask her right then. I was like, right after sex. I didn't ask her. But me thinking about it, I was like, well, I don't want to be in a situationship where she want more. But I thought, because as men,
That's how that shit
we
happen.
typically put people in the box they want to be put in.
So what I wonder is,
Right.
when you decided to ask that question, did you ask it with the idea that you possibly want to
Want a relationship?
that's
I was
what
open
I'm
to it.
saying.
I was open to it because based on what
You were
she
open
talked
to
about,
it.
she was like, yeah, I do. I am interested in more. So we ended up being in a relationship. So I personally don't cut women off based off of sex. But
Okay.
again, I have a different aspect of sex.
Gotcha.
Some men probably would though.
Understood.
So
Now,
Yeah.
if you
No,
come in
I-
there with
look.
that smoke diesel, then you know.
No, I've been in a place where I would cut
So you
dudes
see
off
me
where,
tomorrow?
okay, he check all these boxes, he cool, but would I be faithful to him?
but who
that might
has
not work
amazing
for
sex on
me.
the first time though? I ain't
Uh,
never had amazing sex on the first time.
it's possible.
I hope you did, Solomon.
It's possible. It's possible.
Come on,
Of
Sean.
course you did.
Yeah, it's possible. to have amazing sex.
Yeah.
So you have amazing sex the first time?
Have you had amazing sex?
Oh yeah, a couple of times.
Couple of
Why did you ask him for
Is
names?
there a guy across the
He
table?
in the count.
You in the count,
Hey,
baby.
what's his email address?
Oh, no.
He got a Wikipedia.
Big D813 at yahoo.com.
Wikipedia
Hey,
page.
listen, it's
I just,
possible.
it is. You can connect
it's
with
not
people
Mark
and it
Zuckerberg,
can
is
have some.
You touched my
And
soul
just have a
last
good
night,
little
girl.
like.
No,
You know, look, I'll be acting like a real woman and snatch his darn wig off.
Now you understand,
But no, but I think that you can have. I think it's a chemistry thing. But it for me, it starts here and it can get big. It gets physical from there. So
Yeah,
that's
the first time can be amazing. The second and third time is what counts.
Oh, so it's 3 strike rule?
Oh, that third time
Alright.
be off the meat rack.
Yep.
That third time.
Oh, see.
Yeah, that's
I kind of
Y'all don't think sex is more, there's more rules around sex for women than there are for men?
It is very
And I
much
feel like
so.
the rules are made.
Tailored to
rules are-
them.
Taylor
No, I
to
feel
y'all.
like women make up these rules.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
About
Sex rules.
Now there's definitely a double standard, right? There's a double standard that exists, but I ain't never met a man who said like, "Damn, I fucked on the third date. She ain't know I can't be with her no more." Like I met so many women that be like, "I can't have sex for 90 days."
Yeah, I mean because you.
And don't
So
tell
a
nobody.
lot of that is us trying to set some type of standard because for us men only respect women in a
Also, it's
from our
respect.
findings it's a
Shit, I
respect
respect
like you
you
don't
shit
really
to me that
respect
night.
them or give them any type of credit until they've made like put some type of restriction or some type of standard
But
on
what
it.
happened when I broke the 90-day rule down to you?
I understood. Well, first off, that wouldn't have been me because I already told
This is
you.
what I said with the 90-day rule.
I ain't finna waste my time. I need the third day. Okay, let me see what Buddy cool. Let me see what Buddy bought.
Right.
90-day rule to me is, I know I'm a good dude. So you're going to be like, girl, he took me here.
This year Halloween fell on a weekend. Me and Ghetto Boys are trick-or-treating, robbing little kids for bags, till an old man got behind our ass. So we speeded up the pace, took a look back, and he was right before our face. He be in for a squabble, no doubt. So I swung and hit the nigga in his mouth. He was going down, we figured, but this wasn't no ordinary nigga. He stood about 6 or 7 feet. Now that's the nigga I be seeing in my sleep. So we triple teamed on him, dropping them motherfucking bees on him. The more I swung, the more blood flew. Then he disappeared, and my boys disappeared too. Then I felt just like a fiend. It wasn't even close to Halloween. It was dark as fuck on the streets. My hands were all bloody from punching on the concrete. Goddamn, homie. My mind is playing tricks on me.
Segment.
Oh, this is the real deal here.
Oh, sucker.
We're back. Final segment of his, hers, and ours. A real life couple holding real life conversation with real life friends. I'm your co-host Solomon Davis with
Shannon Royal Davis.
This has been a bomb show
Yes.
with our guest from I Met the Podcast, Jay Noetic and Remy Mulatto.
Yeah.
What up?
Real quick in this last segment, let us know what you guys got going on tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about it? Let me talk about it.
You talk about it.
All right, man. So we are doing our very first live.
So we're doing our first. No, I'm just kidding.
Chaos. So we decided that we wanted to see what kind of support that we have, and we wanted to do a live, in-person audience podcast event. And so tomorrow in downtown St. Pete, at 3, doors open at 3:30 p.m. We'll be at the Studio 620, which is a nonprofit art museum or art show, art
website.
Studio.
Oh, you talking about
Studio
at 620?
So
it's a venue.
It's a venue,
Yeah.
and so we are going to have 4 entertainers or performers. We have some hip hop artists. Surge in General is going to be performing there as well. And then
We're gonna do the intro.
the intro.
Touchy subject.
Touchy.
Did you hear me say boo when you said his name? I said boo.
Yeah, so we're excited about it, man. So if you're in the Tampa Bay area or even Orlando area, man, come out. It's going to be a good time. We're going to just have.
Is it on your page? So like we
It's
can
on,
tag it.
Yep, on the Method Podcast page. You can find it anywhere on Facebook, or if you go to Jay Noetic on Facebook, you'll find the links. Or Remy Mulatto, you'll find it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or send me a message like Remy Mulatto.
Yeah.
Or,
So tickets are $15. We're gonna have food there that's provided. We're gonna have some.
Definitely should check
Y'all might know the Red Lady Rum. The owner, he's gonna be there providing some fruit liquor punch, liquor rum.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
Lunch. What is that? What do they call it on Sundays?
A brunch. We have a brunch event, but it's not really. That's not really part of the whole thing. It's just more of a private thing. But if you want to join us for brunch, you can
And
come.
that's at what time?
That's at 11 a.m.
Okay.
From 11 to 2, and then the doors open at 3:30. Man, we're just going to vibe out. The topic's
That's
going to
what's
be
up.
taboo topics. What's one of the questions you got?
Give him one.
Give me one of the questions. Give me one of the questions. So we're doing taboo topics. The people like controversial
Yeah.
stuff, right? And so we thought.
Okay, I'll say the one that I put most recently, and it's not even a question. It's just sex with strippers. ...
Hey.
Like, do you have sex with strippers?
Yeah,
Right.
sounds-
And we
Somebody got to.
Somebody
got to.
Now, are we talking about inside or outside
Them girls
the
need
club?
love too, right?
inside the club.
Inside the club.
In the club.
See, you changed the whole argument. Like, look, what
We're talking about. We're talking about
No
before I
sex
turn
with the
40 or after I turn 40.
Right? That's all,
Champagne.
but see, that's all part of it. And we're going to have a
Hey,
conversation.
that happened
and
before.
Champagne room or not?
No
There's
sex
no
in the
sex.
champagne.
It's a lie, by the way.
That is a
There's
lie.
definitely sex in the champagne
Yeah,
room.
it's sex everywhere.
Yeah, so we're just gonna vibe out, man.
Stop
We're gonna have a
snitching.
good time. We're gonna interact with the audience, and just we just want to
That's
see
the Hollywood Nights back in the day.
Oh, Lord.
how much podcasting is evolving. and we hope to see anyone there, man. Y'all
It's-
come out.
That's
Listen,
what's up.
listen,
We'll definitely
it's-
be out.
It's
Get
gonna
some
be a
tickets.
motherfucking vibe. Every single time, like, that's one of my favorite things about the podcast is we know it's a vibe. And we've already had people who, like, have asked us, like, yo, can we come through and just kick it and hang out or whatever. And Jay is very much a stickler about our sound, so he's like, no, nobody's...
Listen,
They gonna be laughing in the
When it comes to
background,
production-
and we don't have the setup for that. And I'm like, all right.
Here's the thing. People say, "Oh yeah, I just
Yeah, I
want to
heard
come and
that talk about the
sit.
sound.
I didn't want to sit behind and listen." No, you want to talk,
Yeah.
right? And you're gonna be talking from a far away. It's gonna
Ain't
sound like an
nobody can hear.
echo.
All
It
in
ain't
the
gonna sound good.
background.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna sound good. So I'm more of
Yeah.
a stickler about how we look visually,
Okay.
how we sound.
The aesthetics of it.
So
yeah.
I
Gotcha.
typically stay away from like letting people come in the audience when we're recording in his condo. But here's the opportunity.
He painted
to-
my wall. I got the table.
Yeah, so I don't know if you ever watched him at the podcast. I know y'all did, but like the whole backdrop, I painted it.
You did
and
that?
We did everything to set it up, man. Like, so we just trying
That's
to do.
what's up.
Anyway, say I always say, man, come out.
So it's
and
gonna
have
be a vibe at
Yeah.
studio at
So-
620.
Let everybody know out there where they can get in contact with you guys or where they can follow a Method Podcast.
At A Method Podcast, pretty much on all the platforms. We're on Black Planet, MySpace.
When you said Black Panther, I was like, ooh.
We on Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook. We on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all of those things. We are definitely on Twitter. Don't follow that.
We go live every Wednesday
Okay.
at 7:30 p.m.
That's what's
Eastern
up.
time. So we do our whole show at 7:30, about an hour and 90 minutes. And then we upload the edited version of that onto Spotify, iTunes, all
Gotcha.
the different places.
Same.
So the show that we do every Wednesday is going to be the show that we do on Sunday.
All right.
What's up?
Y'all check them out.
Right on.
So, if you guys aren't familiar with the podcast, what we do in our last episode,
Yeah,
we
wait,
take
can-
it to sports. Go
Can you
ahead.
tell them what the method stands for?
Oh,
We
yeah.
did it. We did it already, baby.
Do it
Okay.
again.
You wanna do
Simon,
it
what a
again?
method means.
Well, y'all know what it stands for.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On our-
Go ahead.
so
Mostly
on our-
everybody talking honestly over drinks.
That's
There it
right,
is.
that's
There
right.
it is.
So on our-
Tell me what you think.
So on our outro, we say the liquor make you talk quicker. We say M is for,
Mostly.
E is for,
Everybody
T is for,
talking.
H is for,
Honestly.
O is for,
Over.
and D is for drinks.
Drinks. That's
we
what's
salute
up.
and then we can close it out.
All right. That's what's
Tell me
up.
what
Thank
you
y'all for
think.
having us over.
Man, thank y'all for coming.
So how we usually close out our show is with sports. We're not going to talk about too much
Okay,
sports-wise because we kind of
Up against
up
time
against time. We got
ourselves.
something we got to do later this evening. But we make picks on the NFL schedule.
Okay.
From week to week. And we're holding a contest. Last season I was the winner.
Okay.
Won a crown.
All right.
All right.
Right now, at this point in the season,
Who winning?
Shannon has a record of 66-42-1.
I knew she was winning.
I'm in second place at 64-44-1.
Okay, only
Like,
two
can't
games
wait to see
behind.
everybody today at the show.
Serge is at 61-47-1.
Damn.
I'm with it.
Rob is at
Striking
54-54-1.
Come on, Rob.
Alfie
I'm
at
still-
52-56-1.
500.
That's true.
Still 500.
Alfie struggling.
Simon, what was yours again? You said 64 what?
I'm at 64-44-1.
Okay.
I ain't
So
got-
last week, Serge, Rob, and Alfie came in with records of 7-7.
Terrible. That's a 500 record. Better in the book.
500.
Me and Shannon both tied with records of 9-5.
Okay, I
Okay.
feel it.
So
Okay.
I could have beat you. If I would have known what you picked, I would have picked right. I would have picked the Baltimore like I
Hold on, I told everybody in the group chat I was picking Baltimore.
I know, but if I would have known what the
I
score
was like,
was.
you probably too. That's because I
was
told
already
it. I was
trying to
like, come
Baltimore.
on, man. The Browns, we pretty much
told
put the
y'all
Ravens.
Baltimore.
So to go back on what Remy was talking about with his Thanos reference earlier, I felt like Thanos.
Yeah.
When we got Tom Brady, it was like I had all the Infinity Stones, and I closed my hand, and
Right.
half the turnovers were gone.
Yeah.
They were gone, just like all the people.
So Giselle.
And then we won a Super Bowl. That was it. They came and chopped my head off, and they asked me, "What did it cost me?"
Everything.
I can't get a win.
Everything.
That's it.
And you know my whole thing about that, I've been saying if you from Tampa, you used to this shit. This back to normal.
Right.
That's what I said on my thing.
How about I said that the other day? I said, "Oh, that time though, let us turn back into fucking pumpkins."
I know Buccaneer fans
It's gonna be all right.
freaking out.
No, it's gonna be all
No,
right.
y'all only 3-5. You're still in it.
It's still in
They can win
it.
the division still.
It's almost.
It's not a loss for me. I don't
It's
know.
almost like the girl
But my
told
thing
me
is, they're the
that
type
night.
that's gonna get
we
to
can
the playoffs and
Niners
they'll
doing
lose.
They should have won that game.
Yeah.
All I want to know is who y'all picking for the 49ers versus Rams this week.
We'll get to
Because
that.
We're finna get
Oh,
okay.
I'm gonna get into it right now.
So starting off 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning over in London.
I'm done.
The Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's
Definitely.
I'm going with
Don't nobody give a
Jacksonville.
shit about that game.
Jacksonville.
Ain't nobody care.
There's a reason for
I'm
it
going with the
too.
Jags.
Russell Wilson was doing high knees on the airplane.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's also out of the game.
No, he playing.
He's playing.
Sure, 'cause I
He
thought
doing
I heard
high
something
knees for no
No, he
reason.
playing.
Yeah, he playing
I
tomorrow.
honestly got the other
Hey
game.
man, I'm going with
Going on a
Usually
1-2
you gotta play
style.
team.
What you going? Come on, sir.
A team.
I'm going with Denver, man. Fuck it.
Okay.
So Rob, Denver, Alfie,
Jacksonville.
Shannon,
Jags.
Serge.
Denver.
Damn, they both the same record.
Yeah, they suck. Ain't nobody care.
Let me get the Jags.
I'm going with the Broncos.
I know my vote don't matter, but I'm
No, we're
going
gonna
with
let y'all get in.
Oh,
Who you
okay.
going? Who you
Denver
with?
all the
Oh,
way.
okay.
I'm going Wakanda.
You know where Russell Wilson is from, right?
No, I don't.
Virginia.
Hey,
You from VA?
He must have left his
Two up,
office
two
there
down,
too.
baby.
Go ahead. Because this year their office been
He's struggling,
staying like
right?
the
He's
bugs
struggling
too.
like
Okay.
it. They suck.
Everybody's struggling
Go
right
ahead.
All right, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Miami Dolphins at the Detroit
Ooh,
Lions.
Miami.
now. Miami.
Hey, unanimous?
I think it's gonna be unanimous.
Let Rob, because Rob is,
Shit
he
directly in my
surprises us.
city.
He always take an eye, man.
Nobody-
Go ahead, Rob. What you got?
Nobody got faith in Detroit.
Surge.
Yo, Detroit won that one game. Everyone was
listen,
hype on them.
Listen, Detroit has a good offense.
And we got an end in Detroit.
So what we don't got?
Hey, let's call.
Wait, who's at home?
Call
Detroit's
Brad
at
and
home.
tell him.
Stop.
Okay,
Nothing.
Dolphins at home.
Detroit's at home.
They
And
Detroit.
they get Amon St. Brown
Oh,
back,
Lord,
too.
they
Amon
can't-
St.
yeah.
Brown comes back this week.
They over.
Is he?
Terrible.
Who, Detroit?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know.
that number one receiver
Yeah,
back.
You know what?
I ain't even that bad either. Damn.
I'm going to go with Detroit.
Go, didn't I tell you Rob will give you one?
Give me Miami. Give me Miami.
Hey,
So everybody except
Somebody.
for Rob is going with Miami.
somebody believe in my
I'm going with
city.
Detroit. I'm going to call Brad when we leave here, too.
Next.
See if he answer the phone.
I know he won't, but I'm just, at
You
least
don't call him anyway.
All right,
I got
the winner of this
anyway.
game will be in first place in the NFC South. The Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, Lord, that's a trash
I'm gonna
ass
go with the
game.
Falcons.
Atlanta. They
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
number
that's
one, right?
wait. Who's home?
Atlanta's at home.
Atlanta's winning.
Atlanta.
Atlanta's winning. I don't know. Panthers like to come into places and
And up
smack
shut
it
up.
I don't know if they
Go
come with
ahead.
that same thunder they had this week. They might do something.
All right.
I'm going
I'm
with
still
Atlanta.
going to Atlanta.
Go ahead.
I'm so
Yeah,
I
I'm
come in
going
and do
Atlanta.
something, but I'm still going with the other team.
Arizona Cardinals at Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
shit.
man, I don't
Vikings.
know.
Vikings.
Vikings.
I feel like Keith, what's the quarterback name?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is finally getting into a little rhythm, man. I think Cardinals gonna pull it out.
You said at the Vikings.
the Vikings.
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 Yeah.
Arizona.
Oh, good.
Going with
Against the
Arizona.
green.
That'll separate the one loss between us.
I'm going. No, it ain't, because you know what? Monday night.
But go ahead.
But then again, you always go against the Browns. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Monday night. That's
We
all.
gonna win. Law of averages is gonna catch up.
So you never voted against the Browns?
No.
I did it last week and it benefited me.
Law of averages is gonna catch up. We good.
Next.
Chicago Bears at the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys for
Dallas.
sure.
Yeah, Cowboys.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll go with the
What's
Cowboys.
Chicago record?
I don't know. Chicago was
3 and
looking
4, I
good, though.
think.
Yeah, they do that every now and
Chicago was
then.
looking good.
Chicago's 3-4.
Dallas due
I'm
for
going
a
with
loss.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Man, that East is
Dallas due for a loss,
crazy.
but you know what? Nah, I ain't trying to be the last.
Do it.
You're already in last place.
Go into this.
After what you picked already, you're going to be in last
It's you
place.
against Alfie for last place. Let's go.
No, I'm winning all y'all.
If he
I'm going
dies,
with Dallas,
He
goddamn it.
dies.
he dies.
Yeah, he put that in the goddamn group chat. He dies, he dies.
I said Dallas.
And I'm still vote better than him. Ah,
Let's go.
The Las Vegas Raiders at the New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans.
Raiders.
You going New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Alfie?
Jameis playing?
Don't know. I doubt it.
Shit.
Raiders.
I don't think so.
Man, fuck it. I'm gonna go with New Orleans. If I'm last, I'm last.
Damn, they both
If
garbage.
you're there,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Raiders again just because I don't like the Saints,
I don't like the motherfuckers either, but
and that really will push us towards the end.
Yeah, it will, if they win.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what?
I want them to keep losing.
Yeah, give me the Raiders.
Earlier.
Nah, I'm going with New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans, I'm going with the Raiders as well.
All right.
I'm sticking with
All
New
right, let's
Orleans.
go.
This one's unanimous. I already know. Pittsburgh Steelers at Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh,
Philly.
Go.
Philly.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
Won't even have no
They
conversation.
ain't
on that.
lost that one game.
Pittsburgh on downward spiral.
Good game. New England Patriots at New York Jets.
Jets.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna ride with the Jets on
So-
That
that.
is a good game.
Wait, no, Bailey Zappi is he starting?
Give me the Jets.
No, Patriots are starting.
Okay.
Did
we're
the trade
gonna
go
go
through
with
for the
the
running
Jets.
back? Is he playing? They traded for a running back. The Jets did.
I don't know. I know their starting running back is out with ACL.
Yeah, but they traded for a running back who was supposed to be starting.
It
but-
wasn't Camaro, was it?
No, it wasn't Kamara. Whew, that's a tough
I don't
one.
know.
Give me the
Wait-
Jets.
Wait
Give
a
me the
minute.
Jets.
Oh, they running back did get hurt. Brees Hall. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
I'm going.
Y'all trust Zapper?
Zappi? Yeah, I like.
Zap.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going with New
Zipper.
England as well.
I'm
Okay.
going
Let's go. Go Jets.
Jets.
Yeah.
I think I'm alone on this one. I'm
No,
alone.
you not.
No, I'm going with
He went with
Oh,
the Jets.
yeah, I'm alone on this.
Rob's going
I'm
with
going
the
with
Jets.
the Jets too. Crashing
Listen,
and burning.
y'all guys are 10 games behind. I'm alone on this.
Hey,
The
I'm gonna catch up.
the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans.
Ain't nobody give a damn.
Give me the Titans.
The Titans, yeah.
Tennessee, it's
Tennessee Titans versus who?
The
Houston
Texans.
Yeah.
Titans.
The two cities that switch.
Titans.
Yeah.
Struggling.
At the beginning of the season, this would have been a trash game, but right now it's going to be a hell of a game. The New York Giants at the Seattle Seahawks.
Giants.
Giants balling a little bit though, but I
I'm
think
going with
Seattle's
the
gonna
Seahawks.
get
Seattle are going to
Gino been balling, man.
I got the Giants. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I'm still rolling with the Giants, man.
They gotta go to hit a 12th man. For good.
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks.
Oh, they going. They going.
go.
Go
To
ahead, Solomon. We ain't finna. No,
already said
you already said you
Oh,
stuck.
man.
We ain't playing with you today.
Why you always trying to get me out? Cause you.
Because you're in first place.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think it's some bullshit going on in here.
Conspiracy.
Did you want to change, Rob?
No, I ain't
Okay.
changing.
The Washington Commanders at the Indianapolis Colts.
Commanders.
Hey, I'm going with the Commanders. 'Cause I chose them last week and what happened?
did.
They walked that ass.
did.
I'm going with my boy Taylor.
Yeah, you
Heineke.
were right on that. I was like, did he pick the only guy that picked him?
Yep.
Commanders.
And who they going against?
The
Indy.
Colts.
Oh shit, hell yeah, Commander
Colts.
Taylor
Commanders.
Heineken.
He said the Colts at
The
home?
Cobra
Colts at
Commanders.
home.
I got the Colts.
Heineken, goddamn.
I'm going
Taylor
with
Heineken.
Washington.
Let's go!
I'm gonna go at the Commanders. I ain't called him out for one time.
Ah, don't come over here.
Let's go!
First little man out.
First place next week. Let's go.
From third to first.
Let's go.
In the
We
game,
down like 3.
the game that Jay mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
the San Francisco 49ers.
Before you answer, how you answer determines whether or not you get on the podcast or not, or whether or not I'll come back. So choose your answer wisely.
San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams, which is basically a home game for San Francisco because the Rams don't sell out well.
100%.
49.
Let's go. Let's go.
They looked real good last week. I'm going with them.
Yeah, but they.
And we got
they're
McCaffrey
down
now.
this
You know what? I'll go with
San
the
Francisco.
Niners.
Yeah, I'm going 49.
I'll go with the Niners.
Hey, who you going with? Co-host?
Wakanda again?
Nah. He's not really into sports, so he's right into it.
Wait. Tell me the teams. Okay.
With San Francisco
With the
49ers,
Bulls, I'm going
the
with the
Los
Bulls.
Angeles Rams.
The Los Angeles.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I'm kicking you off.
Yeah. Just because I know he going with the 49ers.
Nah, I gotta choose them. They looked real good last week.
All right,
Yeah,
go
they
ahead.
They ran into them boys.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
So honestly, I guess you ain't gonna be back on the podcast because I'm going with the Rams.
Why?
Yes!
I'm gonna give you the reason why.
You know the Niners have won like 14 straight games in
But
regular
they-
season.
Law of averages. They gonna have to lose
They
one
have
at
to
some
lose
point in
one to the
time.
Rams at some
And
point.
then you gotta understand, Debo ain't playing tomorrow.
Debo is not playing tomorrow. That is true.
I'm
Oh,
still
what?
gonna
But we
go-
make up with McCaffrey having a full week of
Practice, yeah.
getting an offense.
I like the Rams on this one.
Okay.
All right, I'm
I'm
gonna
sticking
call
with
you
the
on
Niners.
on Sunday.
I'll be there with you guys tomorrow. So I'll
All
give
right.
you updates, shouting them out the
What's the time?
square.
Monday night?
No, this is
A Sunday
Sunday night game.
Ooh, what's the
The old legend versus the new gun.
Josh Allen, right?
Green Bay Packers versus the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo.
1,000%.
Green Bay is just not.
Who's home?
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
It don't matter who on.
Give me Buffalo.
No, it doesn't.
In this case,
Because
all
Green
men
Bay
need
let
to
the
go
Jets
home.
do it at them too, so it happens.
I'm
But
just
go
saying.
ahead.
Well, I mean, how good can you be without Devontae Adams? Like in the
You ain't got nobody to throw it.
None.
Right.
The
And you
rookies
got
out
Randall
there,
Cobb that's out too, so it's
Yeah, give me Buffalo.
did you just
all
say
day.
Randall Cobb?
Randall Cobb.
Randall.
Cobb is
Oh,
back
Randall
again.
Cobb.
Yeah.
I thought you said Randall Cobb.
That shouldn't
I thought
even
you
be
said
there.
RoboCop.
Randall Cobb.
Thank you.
I
Monday
said it
night.
too fast.
Monday night, the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns.
Let's go Browns, baby.
Definitely the Bengals.
Definitely the Bengals.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Go ahead, be honest. Law of averages, baby.
What, that y'all win one
Keep in
eventually?
mind, we're the only team that beat Cincinnati twice last year.
So hold
Which
on.
is why they gonna beat your ass this year.
What's the AFC South record? That's the South, right?
No, that's the
That's
North.
right.
No, what's the AFC North record?
Right now, Cincinnati's 4-3, Cleveland's 2-5.
But we should be 5
But
and
we
2.
should be.
When did Deshaun come back?
He ain't coming back.
Wow,
till-
another
Another That's my birthday.
He's still getting massages.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Fuck out of here.
What? Oh my God!
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Good. Go ahead.
week.
Everybody take Cincinnati.
Okay.
That's
What did I say?
I'm just keeping it real.
I don't know what you said.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Alfie! Oh my God!
2
What?
weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a
I'm
row.
going with you,
What's happening
man. I'm
2
going to
weeks in
go
a
with the Bengals.
Go ahead. Go.
Oh, the Browns. No, I'm going with the Bengals. That's I'm going with him.
Am I alone on this?
You go with
All right, cool. I'm with it.
I stopped going. I stopped going with the Browns
You
in
live by the
week
sword. You
6.
died by the sword, my brother.
We got this.
Like I told you, I'm leaving the Bucks where they at.
But Chase is out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, we
We
know.
know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow, we know that. We still going with Cincinnati.
Did you see Tyler Boyd with 130 yards?
Whatever.
I picked him up in free in
I'm with it.
fantasy football too.
I'm with it. Whatever y'all want to do, go ahead.
Hey, listen. Normally we save the Thursday night game and put it in the Wednesday night chats. We can go ahead and pick this one.
What's that?
Philadelphia Eagles at the Houston Texans.
Philly.
Oh, Philly.
Why do
Yeah,
we
that's
pick
a
these
Philly.
games?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
who
So I
selected
mean, I ain't even
them?
watching Thursday night.
Unless the plane crashes, Philly's winning.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I'm just saying.
That's cold.
Hey, it's facts. That's the only way Houston's gonna win.
it's unanimous Thursday night. We'll just call that a wash. But Serge, you in trouble this week, dog.
I am not in trouble with
It's going a little worse than that week when you called us in the chat talking about what was
Why?
our
The
record.
Browns win tomorrow.
He's gonna
Y'all
put it
gonna
in
be-
chat.
on Monday.
I think
On
I was the
Monday.
one that won all the games.
Wait, what time's that Browns game?
It's Monday
8:15
night.
Monday night.
15. And
Yeah, it's Monday. Monday night.
No, it's Monday night.
Good.
All right.
Oh, y'all gonna hear from me.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining us.
Listen,
we
man, I
appreciate
mean,
it.
You see that door
You
right
guys
there?
coming? He's about to say it. You know, when you guys come in, it's open door policy, man. So anytime y'all want to
Yeah.
get back, if in the event that y'all have another, audience participation podcast and what have you need to promote, what have you, please
No,
do
we're
it.
gonna get y'all on Method Podcast.
Hell yeah.
Typically by rule, I hate four people. He loves 4 people. But we're gonna get y'all on, man. We'll get y'all on this season.
No,
So
the more
Remy,
energy,
Remy,
the
you
better.
like the 4 and
Yeah, the more
Jay
energy,
like
the better.
I like the
I like a
three.
room like this.
But we record on Wednesday nights at 7:30. So
We good, man. Just let us know when and where.
All right,
on.
what's up?
sounds good.
But
Thank
y'all
you,
check them
guys.
out tomorrow at Studio
620.
620 in downtown St. Pete. I'll be
They
there.
have a brunch
They
from
have a
11
brunch
to
from
2.
11 to 2.
At the
Doors
Lord.
open for the podcast at 3:30. Serge will be performing along with a couple other hip hop artists before the podcast begins.
Hey, wait. This woman's a poet. So we had her here on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
The Rebel Poet.
That was on
Don't
Shizzle
forget
Show.
about
Yeah,
Rebel
no, she's,
Poet.
She's doing their show.
Yeah, she's.
Don't forget about Rebel.
Yeah,
From
Rebel
3 to
Poet.
7?
3:30 to 7.
So I got time.
And they got
time
food.
Food, liquor. There will be beer and wine. You gotta pay for, but the Red Lady rum will be included.
All right. Red Lady Rum is bomb now. Like
Check
it's
it out.
bomb.
A Method Podcast, $15 tickets.
Yes,
It's
sir.
going to be a vibe. Y'all
Check it
get
out
there.
each and every single Wednesday
Tell me
night
what you
except
think.
holidays.
So, wrapping up episode 55, we appreciate all the participation. We look forward to you guys with the comments and the feedback. Apple Music, Spotify, iHeart, Twitch, YouTube, whatever else I'm forgetting to mention. You got anything you need to say, lady, before we leave? Happy Halloween. Y'all be safe. We out.
We out.
Holla.
Holla.
Easy. Ooh, ooh.
Oh girl, we gon' end up stepping out tonight, dress fly, grab a little bite. Call to the bar, couple of drinks in, let me know what you're thinking. Leaving the scene, chemistry between, seems to he that she be that queen. Don't know for sure, but let's go the next road. The best night to get more, so hold tight, don't let go. Come on and be with me forever. I want you all night long. Come on and be with me forever. I want you all night long. Netflix and the chill. The best bet and it's real. The chest letting it feel. The sex best and it's ill. The next session in this lesson we've been sweating. Spin the final from Lionel Richie. It rhymes slow and I know it gives me the time though to shine. Oh, this match on the spot. Whoa, then ask her, can I go? All night long. I wanna be with you, babe. All night long. I wanna be with you, babe. All night long. I wanna be with you, babe. All night long. Come on and be with me forever. I want you all night long. Come on and be with me forever. I want you all night long. All night long. I wanna be with you, babe. All night long. I wanna be with you, babe. All night long. I wanna be with you, babe. All night long. Girl, we gon' end up making. Oh, girl.